Here comes the commissioner. The pick is in. Number 1.
Come on. With the first pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Tennessee Titans select Cameron Ward, quarterback, Miami.
Oh, such a big surprise, right? We're all surprised by that. Yeah, what's up, folks? Yeah, we back. Not quite back off
As he
hiatus,
said, he
but
made the right call
we're
a
here
year
chilling. We're
ago,
kicking it.
going back to school, finished 4th in the Heisman
Oh,
voting in
it's
his
a little
first
loud,
season.
a little loud here. All right, cool.
Being told as he makes his way to the stage, we will watch Cam Ward make his way to the stage, but I'm being told we have major breaking news. Adam Schefter, what do we have?
All right, Greeny, we have the first trade of round 1. The Cleveland Browns have traded out of the second overall pick. They're moving back to number 5 to the Jacksonville Jaguars spot. In return, the Browns will get the number 5 overall pick, a second-round pick, number 36, a fourth-round pick, number 126, and the first-round pick of the Jaguars in 2026. The Jaguars, in turn, get the number 2 pick, a fourth-round pick, and a sixth-round pick. The Jaguars are on the clock. The youngest general manager in the NFL, James Gladstone, at the age of 34, new regime in Jacksonville, is taking a huge swing at the second pick, and they are targeting Travis Hunter.
All right, that is a remarkable development immediately here. And so as you see Cam Ward having his moment with the commissioner, this is something that we knew would happen. We did not know we would have a trade as early as number 2. Mel, Jacksonville giving up a lot to move up here. Is Travis Hunter, if indeed that is the player, is he worth all that they apparently are giving in return?
Think about Jacksonville right now. Liam Cohen, right? Head coach. He wants offense. There's no question. Help out Trevor Lawrence, right? What can Travis Hunter do? He can bring you juice to an offense. He can be a playmaker. He can be a touchdown maker. They need help at corner. That's the need area for the Jaguars. He can be strategically worked in at quarterback late in the first half, late in games. These games are decided in the fourth quarter. Travis Hunter, the Jacksonville Jaguars, all about Trevor, all about the cornerback spot, 2 for the price of 1. Travis Hunter is in my
I know, yeah. I'm mad quiet right now.
I don't think when you think
Still waiting on the homies to get in and get back.
I understand it's tough in the NFL to play both ways. It's going to be very difficult. He may not be able to do it more than a year or 2. But I think you can always work him in on the other side of the ball. He's going to be offense with Trevor, and then on defense with the cornerback spot being the lead area, he'll figure it out. He has not had the benefit in college up until this point of being able to just focus on one position. So how can you be great at one spot when you're playing both ways? You're out there all the time. Yeah, he was. He's special, and for Jacksonville to give up what they did, it tells you they believed he was the number 1 player in this draft, and they needed him on both sides of the ball.
And Greeny, we're talking about a unicorn, something we've never seen before, and for them to give this up, they believe he's that. And for all this talk about can he play both sides in the NFL, think about this. The NFL game is slower. College football is a lot faster, and he did it in college football. So how come he couldn't do it in the NFL when the game is slower? There are fewer plays. We're going to major you on offense, and we'll let you play certain coverages on defense. I think he can do it. And if Jacksonville is indeed taking Travis Hunter, Liam Cohen, an offensive guy, you can best believe he's going to use him on offense to the fullest extent.
Sure. Like, I don't think you want to play him 120 snaps.
Damn, so Jags trade up to number 2.
Something like 60-40, 75-25, something like that. It's in terms
All right,
of
so we're looking at here.
Deion did tell me, Deion Sanders, when I went out to Colorado, that he would start him on the offensive side of the ball when they break out of their initial first-team meeting, with whatever team he goes to. He needs to learn the nuance and intricacies of that side of the football. He thinks he can step on the field immediately and contribute on defense. You'd be hard-pressed to find anybody up here to say anything different. So, look, Mel put it perfect. You're getting 2 for 1 with this guy. You're getting 2 players in one.
Yeah.
Absolutely, you move up to get that kind of player.
Let's make sure everyone can see exactly what it is that the Jaguars have given up here. It is a significant trade. Again, Shefty told us about an hour ago to expect quite a few explosive trades early, and we get it here. And look at all the Jacksonville is giving up here.
Damn, they gave us so much. That's crazy.
Next year's first-round pick. I'm curious to hear from you, Louis Riddick, as a team builder.
3 picks this year.
Manager of Cleveland referred to Travis compared him to Shohei Ohtani. Shohei Ohtani has revolutionized baseball as we know it. How do you feel about the Browns trading away the opportunity to select him here?
Look, it's they received the haul, though, Green. I mean, look at that on your screen right there. You know, you have second and fourth round picks this year, a first round pick next year. I mean, that's big time. And he needs to now maximize all those extra picks. But Jacksonville, man, they may be getting special players.
Back to Shefty. Here's what we got, Greeny. These two sides have been working on this trade for 2 weeks, and it changes the shape of this draft and Cleveland's approach to quarterback because the Browns now have 2 second-round picks at the top of this draft, and they also have 2 ones next year in what's expected to be a more quarterback-rich draft. So they could opt for quarterback here tonight or tomorrow or opt for 2026, but they have options. And the Jacksonville Jaguars instead have what they believe will be the best player in the draft. They're moving up to get that type of player. A huge swing from both teams, but both sides believe it's worth it.
So there's Travis Hunter there awaiting the call that we will expect to be hearing momentarily here from Jacksonville. Booger, your thoughts on Travis Hunter now, it would appear, headed to Jacksonville after all this time. We assumed he'd be going to Cleveland.
Oh, Brittany, I love it. I think he's the best weapon in the draft. He's a unicorn, something that we have not seen. You have to maximize this, though. If you're Jacksonville and you're going to take Travis Hunter, you have to maximize him on offense. And this is about helping Trevor Lawrence, who's underachieved so far in Jacksonville. You have to surround your quarterback with weapons. This is the ultimate weapon, the best wide receiver in the draft, maybe the best cornerback also.
Man, the only thing I'll say is, look, defensively, they were hard on defense. Giving up yards for explosive plays. Look, if ever an organization needed a two-way player that fit perfectly right into what their needs are, this is the young man for you.
This is the new National Football League. This is a league where we did not used to see this sort of wheeling and dealing. This is becoming much more commonplace. Young general managers in place, as was pointed out by Adam Shepard.
Got the NFL looking like the NBA out here.
The newest in the NFL making a dramatic move here. The pick is in. The Jaguars expected to make it here any moment here. We'll hear from
who we thinking, y'all?
They've chosen to go. Huge trade being made immediately, and the
huge trade, huge surprise.
To announce the trade to this crowd. And the
let's see. What we got going on here? What we doing, y'all?
While we are here tonight to celebrate the 32 young men entering the NFL, I'm honored to take a moment to recognize a player who's made a profound impact on and off the field.
Shannon Sharp.
The Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year Award, presented nationwide, recognizes one player each year who best represents greatness and compassion both on and off the field and in the community. Tonight, we are proudly joined by the 2024 Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year, Eric Armstead.
Hey. Good man. Shouts out to you.
First off, Duval. I want to say thank you to the commissioner. Thank you to the Payton family and the NFL and nationwide. And also to
I got Bino about this pull up.
Each player embarking on the NFL journey to identify a passion close to their heart and act upon it. Use your platform to make your
All right, here we go. That was a little loud. I don't know, audience. Y'all cool with how low this is, or? All right, I got a couple friends about to join me pretty soon. About to stream and have fun and watch the draft. What? Announcing trades here? All right, let me put him on stage. You want me to get my man in? Yo.
Yo, can you hear us?
I can hear you. What's up? Oh, they about to announce the next pick.
No, this is Bino. Who is it?
Yep. It's easy, man. Come on, man. Travis Hunter. Oh, such a big surprise.
Wait, who did he go to?
He went to the Jags, man. So the Jags actually moved a bunch of picks and stuff like that to trade up to get this guy. So
is that the quarter? No, he's a receiver.
Nah, it's what's the name? It's the new Dion, man. He does CBWR, man. Travis Hunter played for Colorado, man.
We better see what it look like.
chose to play for Coach Prime at
It was crazy
Jackson.
because there were rumors
And
that
the first five-star recruit
that the
ever
Browns were
called
actually trying to
as
get
an HBCU.
him and Shador, but
He became the
Yeah, that's
first
not
player
happening. The
ever
Browns,
league
to
not
yeah,
win
the
letting
the
that
Browns,
happen.
Brown Award,
yeah, the
the
Browns gave that
Defensive
up.
Receiver, and the
So
McDuffie Award as the best defensive
all right,
player
so everybody knows who
in the
I am.
country. And now he
I
is
got
the
my man
second
joining me
pick in
here,
the
Bino
National
Games.
Football League draft.
You,
Now headed to
you.
Yo,
Jacksonville.
But Brian
What's
it's
up?
your
Thomas,
What's up,
time to
Q?
shine, man.
Strange, former
So
second
what's
round
up,
pick
man?
of the
How you feeling out
NFL.
here, man?
Liam Cohen and Trevor Lawrence seem to
I'm
really
all
like
right. I'm all right. I mean, like I said, I need Howard to pull some heavy strings,
ball, which he was
Yeah,
dynamic at
do something
Colorado.
big. Like I said, I hear it in the streets that JD might be the one to look out for as in the trade option.
When he's out there playing on both sides, he's got
that's the
every
thing. But
play.
you really
He's
think we
one of
should
the
give up
best players
JD? I
on the
mean,
field. That's the
Listen,
he was
he
pretty solid in the playoffs, man. He was solid.
yeah, but he a late bloomer, and you already know late bloomers don't work on the Eagles. Not anymore. Not like it used to be.
Right, a lot of great pass catchers in particular who
Because
have
I
remember,
mean, I guess
explosive
maybe. I
players.
mean,
Fortunate enough to
it's
play in a
weird though. I
system
mean,
with a
I
lot of
feel like
big
we're in a place where we
major
can get the
names.
most out of
And this
anybody.
guy
Quite
right
honestly,
here,
I mean, I
I
agree with
feel that way
that.
at
I
least.
was out
I
there in
feel that
his
way at
pro
least.
days, and he was catching the football and running routes.
So
The ball never touched the ground.
Dion, I guess Dion okayed
You
him going to the Jags.
some of the most
I mean, I
natural
don't think it's a Dion
hand-eye
thing, man. Like
coordination
honestly,
ball tracking
he hit the
I've ever
draft, but
seen
man,
in my
nah,
life.
Travis
Seen
Hunter's
some great
legit,
players.
man.
This
This
guy is
boy, he
who he
could do it
is,
all,
as
man.
Dion
He's
likes to
solid,
put it.
man.
He's him.
He'll play every
He's
snap on
him.
offense. He'll
Now,
play every snap
he's
on
different. That's
defense.
why Jacksonville
He's
drafted him. Went
solid.
ahead and did
So
what they did
it's
to
a
build
question of
a
whether or not they're gonna actually
as
let him play.
all
Obviously, they're not gonna let him play the full game on both
he's
sides.
2 for 1.
But
Oh, of course.
Forgetting is
nah,
before
this dude,
utilize him at
he's a
such.
beast, yo. He's a
And when you're
beast.
getting 2 for 1, I think
I
you
mean,
have to take into
I don't know
account.
if you
We talk
watched
about
me in the
this a lot.
Colorado
You
games these
got the
past couple
hard playing
seasons,
football on
but
one side, the
I've watched
soft
some of
football.
them.
You
He's very
yeah, but
explosive. He's like the reason why he's super
he'll
explosive.
pop right back up and
He
give you
can make it
another
happen at any
15
point
minutes.
in time.
I don't think America
yeah.
Both
understands
sides.
the stamina that this young man
So,
has.
but it'd be
Regardless of what the
interesting. I mean, him
offseason
down
told
in
him,
Jacksonville, Trevor
this is
Lawrence,
truly something
giving
great.
Trevor Lawrence
I've yet to see in a long time.
another
I've never
option to
seen
somebody to
anything
throw
like
to. I
this.
think
It's
that'd
a
be pretty
reasonable
nice.
question to ask
I mean,
about
he
But now he
shores
got a
him up
genuine
on
number
off.
one
both
though.
sides of the ball. We understand that
Yeah,
every
that's
team
true. I mean,
is
but
going
that's
to
the
try
thing.
to
It's just
dabble
what they're
in
gonna
the
do
other,
with him.
but
Are they gonna keep him on defense, keep him
realistically,
on
as
offense?
brilliant
I
an
mean,
athlete as he
he's
is,
gonna play
Jackson
more one than the
Dillon,
other. I know
no
that.
guardian
So
as
it's
good
just
as
more or
we've
less a
seen
matter of
in a long time. Can he
what the
realistically play full-time
what the
football?
new
Now,
Jaguars. I
you're
guess
right.
coach.
You're
Who's
not
their
going to
coach now?
play
Actually,
120 again. You're not going to
Jags
play the
coach.
I think didn't they fired Peterson? They fired Dougie.
Yeah, they fired Doug.
expect him
I
to
felt like
last
Doug got a
15
raw
other
deal
months.
on that
It's just
one.
not going to
So,
happen.
He did.
but
He came
Again,
into
like I said, it has to
a
be a 60,
already
40,
dumpster
75,
fire.
25, 70, 30
yeah,
type of split.
I mean,
Some teams
yeah,
work
okay.
their
So they
defense
hired
first.
Liam Cohen.
Is it primarily
So
offensive?
Liam, he was the OC from
While Molly McGrath
Tampa
is standing
Bay.
by, she's got the number 2
I mean, he's
pick
got a
in the
decent
draft.
resume.
Brian's in business.
I
Takes us
mean,
down
I
to
guess
the
they're kicking the
stage.
tires here to see what's happening, but I mean, he's I don't know. I mean, I mean, obviously, like I gotta find this towards Dougie just because he won us the Super Bowl, but
excited to be able to go
Yeah.
and be able to play for an organization that thought I was worthy of trading up and getting.
okay.
Okay. He know what to say.
I mean, they told me they was gonna let me go out there and do what I do. So they put me on phone with both coordinators. So I'm gonna just go out there and just do what
Are
I can
you
do.
kidding me? So they gonna let him play both ways?
Oh man, okay.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
that
Thank
means that he got to switch his jersey during the
You mentioned
game.
he's going home, Molly. His hometown in Georgia is about 374 miles
They didn't give
from
him two numbers.
Jacksonville. And we
That's what
talked
I'm
about
saying.
the history that he's
They're gonna
making.
have
He'll
to
be
give him
under the
2 numbers.
shadow of Lambeau Field, the legendary
He gonna
Green
have to
Bay
switch
Packers
jerseys
squad.
every down.
Is the only
So how's that
quarterback
work
in
out though? Because I
history
guess it's more or less
to catch 400 passes
is
in
it
his
like a
first 10
yeah? Because you
years
can
as a
only wear
Jackson
certain
quarterback
numbers
without a
at certain
shoulder
positions,
pad.
right? That's the only
Yep.
way that works.
Yep.
Okay.
So it must mean that either he gonna have a tearaway jump or they gonna have them Jones just ready for him to go.
The ball was his coach, Deion Sanders. Prime time,
So did
1996. He
Dion
came
have
out
to do the
played
same
8
thing when he was
8
playing? Was he
starts on
just
both
21, or
offense
did he
and
have to do
on
both?
defense. Obviously,
Let
one
me
of the
see.
great players of all time. We'll see if his protege is able to follow in his footsteps. So,
See,
Fireworks
Dion's
early here
protege.
tonight. Jacksonville
Yeah,
measuring
that was a four pick
2.
trade just to
Antonio
move up.
Brown's in now at number 3. So the New York Giants
Okay,
have
they
been
got the
waiting
next pick in.
all off season long to see what direction
Yo, there's so many things. Look at so many all these people. Hot diggity dog.
Conversation seemed to have ceased. Perhaps they'll target a quarterback later in the night. There's the Giants draft room. John Mara looking for results quickly here after a very disappointing season. The commissioner is making his way to the stage after Cam Ward went number 1 and Travis Hunter went number 2. It's time to find out who's going number 3.
All right, who we got?
With the third pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the New York Giants select Abdul Carter,
No,
Penn State.
they really picked up Abdul Carter.
As expected, unanimous All-American Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year. 23
I
sacks
figured you always get the best man on the board.
in the country. Finished with 23 sacks in 3 years in state
He
college.
I
said
don't hate this for
basically,
them.
I don't
I
hate
just
this for
don't
them
like
either.
this.
But the funny
I
thing
don't
is,
like this.
Notre Dame, which proved
he
to be
said that whoever team he get drafted to, he would be no longer an Eagles fan.
Tackles for loss and 11 sacks over a 2-year period. They unleash him.
Yeah, see, I don't appreciate that. I don't like that.
He goes to
I don't
What's up
understand.
with
This was
what's
a
up with
move.
you?
This was a move to smack us in the face.
12 sacks as opposed to 11 over a 2-year period.
I feel like this was a move to smack us in the face
You put him off the
It
edge,
was.
play him off
It
wide,
was. But you know what? That's on them though. They gonna hurt
in the
themselves with that.
because they
So
knew that that's who we were going to go after.
out there, the bend, the
I
wide
mean,
variety of moves.
yeah, I don't know if we were shooting all the way up there for that though. I don't know if we were
That's
doing that.
true. You talk about
You know what I
second
mean?
round. Don't they need a quarterback?
Surgery, no surgery. That front maybe would push him that
I mean, they figured out.
The New York Giants have 2 edge rushers.
So I mean, they got Jameis Winston, man. You know what I mean? They all right.
Mm,
Bottom line
mm.
is your guy off the edge this year when he was finally Micah Parsons.
You know what I mean?
What
So
he could do when he was unleashed.
and they got they got Russell Wilson too. So that's actually a pain in. I'm not happy about that actually.
I'm upset with
Russ.
that pick.
Oh, you upset with this pick for them?
We lost the sound. If you can hear me.
I can hear
Yeah,
you.
we
You
lost
hear
it. I
me?
lost sound on you and
And the feed?
the
You can't
draft.
hear me? I can hear both of y'all. I can hear everybody pretty well. Everybody, can we y'all hear us both? I can hear you. You sound good. You hear me?
Yeah, like Von Miller says it all the
Dang, we
time,
about
right?
to lose
Brooke Lawrence,
Bino.
he plays some of the best pass rushers.
Oh
Let me
man.
see.
Guys like Simeon Wright.
Maybe I'll try to leave and come back. Hold on.
Off the rock. And here's
All
the
right.
thing that impresses me the most about him. He flat out plays hard. When you talk about competitive character, for 60 minutes, this dude is hunting the quarterback. He asked the Penn State coaches prior to the 24th season to put him at defensive end. He asked for the switch. They were wondering how he was going to handle when they put him in a 6 technique, right? Head up over the tight end when tackles started coming down on him and double teaming him, whether or not he was going to be able to withstand it and come back again and again and again. He continues to get better at it. But I'll tell you this, when it's third down, he's got speed to power. He's got high side speed. He's got an inside spin. He's got it all. Incredible, incredible player.
He wears the same uniform.
Gonna hate seeing him 2 games a year.
Did. Will he follow in those footsteps as far as effectiveness in the NFL? Verizon Business takes us down to Molly, who is standing by with the third pick of the draft. Molly.
Thank you, Greeny. Abdul, your dad trained you your entire childhood. What was that moment like after your name was called with your dad and the rest of your family?
Yeah, it was surreal. I wouldn't be here without him. I'm just blessed. Thankful for my family. Thankful for everybody who helped me get to this moment. I can't wait to celebrate this moment with my family.
You grew up in Philly. You grew up an Eagles fan. How are you going to bring the Giants back to dominance in the NFC East?
Yeah, I'm all New York. New York getting everything from me. All the passion that I have, all the love that I have, all the excitement. On third down, then we get loud. I'm going to get that big play, make my best pass rush.
All right. I'm not ignoring y'all. I'm just getting active on Twitter right now.
Thank you.
Greeny.
All right, Molly, thank you. Abdul Carter is the third defensive player selected in the top 3 overall by the Giants in the common draft era. The others, Lawrence Taylor and Carl Banks. So Travis Hunter is off the board. How about his college teammate, Shedeur Sanders, waiting to hear his name called as round 1 of the NFL draft continues from Green Bay on ESPN.
All right, so while these motherfuckers go to commercial break,
the 2025.
All right, we're gonna mute this real quick and pay me for these commercials. So, oh snap, my man Bino back.
What happened?
You back? You back?
Yep.
He back. What's bracking, bro?
Yeah, I had lost sound.
All right, let me just do this here. Back here. Get away from the screen. Screen. Yeah, I didn't want to run all the ads. That's all.
I get
They
you.
don't pay me to run the ads. But man, So I'm gonna rap with you about this real quick, just because kill some time while I got commercials. So what's up, man?
Oh, listen,
You
I'm
riding with Shake, man? You think Shake should call it quits, man?
no, I like what he did, but I also maybe think that the ESPN told him to step away for a little bit, take care of this what he need to take care of, and then he can come back. He said he'll be back for the preseason, and that's not too far away.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Do you think it's gonna be that sweet though? Do you think like that's the thing, man? This is like these are serious allegations, even though like the
Uh huh.
presentation of it all is very unserious, right? This is some
Yeah,
pretty serious allegations. So do you think this is something that like will
he gets.
probably haunt him, or are we just at that point in history where where just
Well,
everybody's just a degenerate and they don't care no more? You know what I mean?
well, I mean, let's keep it 100. I mean, that's the truth. If you look at it, if you look at it, there's cats that have done way worse, and they're still getting the limelight. They still, mind you, if he beat, like I said, if in he beats the allegations, of course it'll be kind of like a stain or a smudge on his resume. It'll be there, but I mean, look how quick the internet was when his little live mishap happened. When
That
his
was a
little
mishap.
yeah, well,
That was everything but a
corrugated.
mishap,
You
dog.
mean corrugated attack? That was a corrugated, but when that happened, I mean, just that night when he apologized, all of a sudden it became a running gag for the rest of the night when he adjusted.
Well, I mean, he did bounce back pretty well from it. I will give him credit for that.
Yeah,
I'll give him
so I mean, if we get bounced back from something like that, surely, and the crazy thing is, he's not even saying I didn't do it. He's saying it was consensual. This is what it was beforehand. I am an adult, and the allegations that is being tossed at me is false. And it's pretty sad because I mean, we're like you said, we're in a day and age where there's degenerates all over the place. So it's like, cat, you got. I mean, he's already got the support. So I don't see him if ESPN drop him, it'll just be because of the face. That's what ESPN does. ESPN, or it's like, if it's like a job. If you have bad karma or bad what's the name tied to your name, they got to do something. That's where you get that call in the office, talk about, hey, listen, we've been watching, why don't you go home? We'll pay you for this, that, and then what we'll do is we'll call you back, and then like 2 days later, you find out that you let go.
Yeah, yeah. So I don't know. That's the thing. He say he's stepping away, but I don't know. Is he really stepping away? Is he getting shushed away? So, but we'll
I
see.
I I think that that's what's happening. I think that low key what they're doing is they're just basically paving the way for everyone to go. Well, we knew it was going to happen. He knows it's going to happen. So we'll see. We'll definitely
Yeah,
see.
we'll see. All right, we back in here. Let's see what we got going on here.
All right, who's up? Who's up?
Okay,
Oh, it's
Patriots pick
Pats.
four. Yeah, see that's the thing. They should have had the first pick, but they decided to win their last game. So we got to see what happened here.
With the fourth pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the New England Patriots select Will Campbell, tackle, LSU.
Okay, so they're trying to build. They're in a whole rebuilding mode. They're trying to build the lineup.
I don't hate that actually. I mean the
I don't
Patriots. I
either.
mean honestly they got like pretty depleted after I mean after what's the name left, and then pretty much man like Bill don't really do them any favors in terms of just how he built that lineup and that team. So
Yeah,
they got a ways to go. You know what I mean? So
I agree. Like I said,
I
my thing
mean
about it is this is a safe move for them. This is guaranteeing them that they have somebody that's protecting their quarterback.
so which is cool. I mean you can't get mad at that. I mean especially now that they got dang see luckily definitely I don't watch enough Patriots. Who's the boy,
Yeah,
man? They got nah, homeboy's nice though. I don't want to. Yeah, they got Drake May. I ain't trying to disrespect my man like that. I ain't gonna play him. Nah, Drake May
yeah,
is nice. So they got
yeah.
him.
So
So they
they,
got to protect him, man. Protect your
yep,
investment. So
yeah.
do what you gotta
And
do.
that's exactly what they're doing. I mean, it's
But
crazy because
as teams, that's what you should do. I mean, honestly, I feel like the best strategy if you're an NFL team, you're drafting. You need to build your offensive line and your defensive line. I feel like
in the
The
offensive
quarterback
line
should be the
alone. And
last thing
that's
you get.
exactly
That
what
should be the
New England
last
needs.
thing you get.
Yeah, I agree. It
So
should be. It
you,
should be like a regular draft when you doing that joint. When we doing the what's the name draft. Your quarterback don't come in until late rounds.
yeah, because you need everything else because because you can have a good quarterback, but if you don't got a line to protect them, what are you doing? You don't even have no
Exactly.
insurance. Buying a nice car and
Exactly.
I got no insurance. You know what I mean? So
Yep. And this is the insurance.
I mean, skill positions. I think you could always pay for that. You can even draft that as well too. But
Of course. I
it's
mean, you
kind of
get
hard to
those.
draft that.
You get those. But I mean, you still get those blue chip players though.
Yeah, I mean, but if you got a top 3, 4 pick, man, it's a little rough, man, to try to unless somebody's like guaranteed, like a guaranteed commodity, man. It's kind of hard to shoot, to do that. So
You're
yeah,
right. You're
Shador,
right.
but Shador still ain't even go yet, man. What's up here, man?
What
What you
isn't he?
doing?
Wait, isn't he a quarter?
Yeah, so let's
I
see
mean,
here.
no, I don't think no. I would be surprised if a quarterback go in the first round, just because of how deep it is for the defensive end and the O lines. And
Well, no, when they had Cam Ward went first. You know what I mean? So, but let's see what happens here, man.
I don't know what they're going to
all
I
do.
mean,
right,
the Browns
I'll tell
traded
you what,
back to
right now,
5,
Mike
man.
Vrabel's
So
going, and he's walking around in
there's
that
a, there's a
locker
Obvi-
bit
room
this.
shaking hands. It's like
obviously they
Has
didn't
a
like what they
decision been
seen.
made?
beginning this offseason and try to
Is
get
it?
Yeah.
what Drake May has taken care of. Okay, they get
Look at it. He like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Who we get?
Aaron Bradbury going to play center now, and now you got Will Campbell.
Oh, now everybody
You know,
getting
that
big,
highlight right
getting
there,
noggin
which you
hats.
didn't mention some of the things that
I
he was
mean,
doing in
Remember,
that
yeah.
highlight.
remember the Eagles did it first. Remember that.
Sub 33, but he's got hands like cinder blocks. And when you're talking, he uses those hands as well as anybody in this draft. Look, I think
I'm still
methodically,
thinking
New
about
England
Gillies
has
just
addressed
dancing in his
all
joint,
the
yo. It's
things that
fucking
all
hilarious.
offseason said they needed to address. Will
Gilly be
Campbell will be
jamming.
a
He
decades-long
do.
left tackle
It's
bookend
funny
for them.
because he
This is a
became so
no-brainer pick, in
popular
my
in
estimation.
like
Was the
5 games.
expected pick. So the players that have been drafted thus far, for those of you who've not followed the process all through the last few months, they've been the players that we were expecting to hear called tonight. Obviously, the huge shocker was Jacksonville trading up to number 2, and so the Browns are now on the clock. They will make the next selection, having traded
Oh, they're
back
on. Okay, so
at
they
Okay.
number
didn't pick
5. In
yet.
the meantime,
Yeah, next
Verizon
pick.
Business brings us
Yeah,
back
that's
to
Dang,
just a
look at
great
all those
setup, yo.
right
people.
there
I
with Will
know
Campbell.
it's
Molly.
fire, man. I
Mike,
like it
you're
though.
just the
Yeah.
second ever LSU O lineman to be picked in the first round. I can see that
The
you're
whole
emotional
interview.
here. How
Mm.
meaningful is it for you to represent this program in the state of Louisiana?
Means everything. They did so much for me and my family, and for me to be able to
Oh, he
represent them
country,
the right way,
country.
I'll never
Yeah,
be able to repay
He
I'm
them
getting,
got
I'm
enough.
getting,
the
I'm getting, I'm getting
Michael,
water
we
boy
spent a lot
vibes
of
here.
time
yeah,
discussing
he
the position of
country,
quarterback.
country.
What do you
Dang.
like about the culture that he's building there in New England?
That logo
Oh yeah,
speaks for
They
itself.
got Mike
You know,
Vrabel
Coach
back.
Vrabel is a guy
Yep,
who I
yeah,
want to
hit the
play
patch,
for. He's a
yeah.
football guy, no
So
BS.
I mean, the patch might
And I've
actually be
loved
solid. I mean,
everything that
that's a smart
everybody in
pick for
that
him
building's
though.
about since the first
Mm-hmm.
So
time I stepped in there. So it's a complete honor to be able to have this hat on right now.
Well, one thing's for sure, quarterback
did we
Drake
play
May
the? I
has
don't know
to
if we
be
played the
happy
Patriots this
about this
season.
selection.
I
I don't think
don't
we played them
remember the
this year.
league.
Appreciate it.
No, we played them. I remember we played them
And you
last
can
season.
hear
I don't
the
know if we
awe
played them
in
this
his
season
voice.
though.
What a wonderful moment.
So
Reminder
not this
that
past
tonight
season,
is
but the
not
season
just
before.
about the analysis, but it's about the opportunity for these young men. By the way, the older football fans in our audience will appreciate this. Mel, the Patriots have drafted a top 10 offensive lineman only once in the common draft era. It was John
Wow.
Hanna, who was 4th overall in 1973 and may very well be the greatest guard that ever played.
Yep, no doubt about it. They are hoping that obviously with Will Campbell, you think about what he can be at that left tackle spot. One of the more critical picks so far in this draft was Drake May is going to have to be
Hey,
that
somebody
franchise
close
Oh,
to the
that's
quarterback
camera down there.
All right,
oh,
well,
that's
number
dope.
5
Oh,
again
wow.
I
So you
tonight,
got
know.
people
Cleveland
actually
Browns
in the
have
arena
traded
actually
back.
watching
Originally
the
had the
Yeah.
second
Oh,
draft
here
watching
we
spot
go.
here
Who they
tonight,
getting?
and here
Okay.
comes the commissioner to announce the
Because I know
selection.
you gotta get a quarterback because you can't trust
With the fifth pick in the 2025 NFL Draft,
Shador.
the Cleveland Browns select Mason Graham,
Ooh.
defensive
wow.
tackle, Michigan.
Okay.
Left tackle?
So after all
Left
the
tackle,
speculation
really?
No,
about
no,
all
he a
the
DL.
characters we may get outside
Oh,
of the
DL.
trades,
Okay.
these have been the players we were expecting to
Wow,
see.
he's a
Oh
defensive
man.
Two-time
tackle.
All-American,
Wow, so they
football
went
fans will be with
defensive
the
on
team
the ball to
representing
run
you for
with
the most
Khalil
part.
Mack.
The year the Wolverines won the national title was a star wrestler in high
With
school as
Miles
well.
Garrett
Jim Harbaugh
too.
called him
That's what I'm
Ooh. Okay.
saying.
MVP on
Like
the
they got somebody to run with
football.com
Miles
when he
Garrett.
brought him to Ann Arbor, and
Okay.
Mel Graham lived up
I'm
to the
not.
hype.
He
Mason
wearing a
Graham was
green suit.
dropping.
He trying to go to the
And there's even
Eagles.
Walter Nolan that maybe go ahead of them, defensive tackle out of Ole Miss. But Mason Graham third on my
Everybody
big
trying to go to
board.
the Eagles.
Cleveland made that deal, kind of
Oh,
threw him
that's
out
a
of
big
whack a
boy.
little bit.
He is
6'3.5",
6'3",
296.
almost 300. How does he move? Oh my goodness, that swim move. Yeah,
Oh,
he's
You can
fast
see that in
too.
terms of leverage. Low man wins in the NFL. The versatility, the violent, active hands, the
Oh my
reactability,
goodness, look at the fighting. Oh my,
that's what
oh
not
my
off the
God,
charts.
yeah.
But if you
him
Oh
watch
and
him,
man,
Khalil
it
Mack
was
gonna eat.
disruptive, folks.
Not
He
Khalil Mack.
made
Him and
impact game
Miles
and
Garrett
Miles
gonna
Garrett.
eat.
consistency,
They gonna
the
eat. Oh
ability, I
my
think, to impact
goodness.
the football game where
Wow.
quarterbacks hate it the most up the gut.
When you play that position, Greeny, inside, you better have a couple of things. You
He
better have a
remind
good
you of a
first step.
light
You
skinned
better use your hands well, and you better have great balance. He has all
Fletcher.
three of those things. He can make tackles,
Said
tackle to
license
tackle,
Fletcher.
and even
Yeah,
outside the tackle. I love his motor. I love his
eating up the
disruptiveness
double
and his
teams.
ability to use his hands. You have to have strong hands to
Wow. So
control the
where's
center, to
Shador
control the
going
guard,
though?
to get
So
those
what's
Dang,
what's
that's
inside
happening
plays.
salty.
here?
People think that nose tackles and three techniques
I
can't
mean, that's
make
cool
plays.
though. I mean,
He is a
if I'm Shador, I don't want to
extraordinary
go. I don't
playmaker.
want to go
Here's the thing I want
to
to see.
To the
Can he
Browns, no, you
continue to
don't.
get
I don't
better as a
want to go
pass
Browns
rusher?
anyway.
Can his pass rush arsenal continue to get better? Because right now, it's not up to par with what we've seen in the likes of Grady Jarrett or Aaron Donald, those impact, or Chris Jones, those impact three techniques. He's got to get better as a pass rusher.
Yeah, that was one of the things that I struggled with when evaluating him was, look, there's no question he's a great player. You talk to the people in Michigan, they love him. They love all the things that Book just talked about, specifically his motor. They love him when he's on the move,
Yes.
when you're running games and stunts, and he's the looper, when he's a guy who you can kind of like get on some edges, get some angles. Look, he'll be working with one of the best pass rushers in the NFL, Miles Garrett.
Yeah,
Can
that's
he
what he.
produce rushing the
Yeah,
passer?
he gonna be able to
So this
learn
stage
and
arrives in
grow.
business, and Molly McGrath, take it, Molly.
Thank you, Greeny. Mason, you are a tone setter for Michigan's defense. What kind of attitude and toughness are you bringing to Cleveland?
I mean, just fierce competitor. You know, I want to come in there
Cleveland,
and
he
win.
is
You know,
for
get to the top
you.
and then
Mhm.
win a Super Bowl. So that's my one mission coming in, and that's what I'm gonna do.
Oh,
A
you talk about
Michigan
winning the
fan is
Super Bowl
going
with
to
the
the state
Browns.
of
That's
Ohio.
that's a
How are you going to make
that's a
Hey,
amends with
listen,
those
man.
fans after what you did to the
You got it.
Buckeyes the
Somebody got
last
a
3
dream.
years?
If you don't
listen.
Been
believe,
allowed pretty well
you
the
will
whole
not
season,
achieve.
That's,
man.
So,
All
listen.
right, good luck.
There's a saying that comes along when he said that when
That's
pigs fly.
exactly right. Heading into what would have been considered enemy territory previously, but now the new favorite son of the Cleveland Browns, Mason Graham, an outstanding
The
player.
fact
new
that you're a
favorite son.
proud
Earliest
fan is
Raiders are
crazy.
on the clock, and what a fascinating decision they
I
have
mean,
ahead
hey,
of
you got
them
some
here.
people got no
Early
choice,
in this
man.
process,
You
Mel, you
true,
were
you
Man,
talking
true.
about
you
Shador
forget,
Sanders
man. You
here. He
know,
has a
we're
long
spoiled,
history
man.
with
We
Tom
got we
That
got
Brady.
it.
The
We
I
got it good here,
conversation
man.
pretty much
yeah, you
died
We
right,
got
away
it
you
good
right.
here,
immediately.
man. You know, we
That was
doing all
part of the
right, man.
early
You know what I mean?
discussion. That's
So,
not what we're
you
expecting, at
know,
least here. They have
We got to
great
look out for the less
caliber in there
fortunate
in the
squads.
draft room as
I
the
mean,
Raiders make
three
their
Super
decision
Bowl
at number 6.
appearances,
What
what,
about
five,
Geno
six,
Smith
five,
now,
what,
right? Pete
7,
Carroll
8
tied
years?
together.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Geno
So, you
great,
know,
right? An
just
outstanding
we
quarterback
got
in this
two.
league.
You know what
He
I
still has
mean?
probably
We
3
doing all
years left
right.
where
We
he can
doing all
play at
right.
a very
I listen.
Coming
I
off a
need
professional
that.
level.
low.
I need
Geno
that
Smith
third. I need that
has helped
third.
him out. What does Pete Carroll want to do? Run
All
the
of us do,
football. He had
man.
Marshawn Lynch. They drafted
We all
Rashad
do.
Penny. Didn't work out, but they still took him in round 1. You look at
Oh,
a
they got
guy
the
like
next pick in
Ashton
already?
Jeanty, what he can mean to
Oh,
this
they
Shador
ready.
going
team.
to
That's
I
your
would have
door.
more
That's
so
your door.
more
Oh, we're going to
than
Raider
Shador.
Nation.
My
That's your
philosophy is
door.
not my
Raiders?
ranking.
Shador going to the Raiders?
Value
Oh,
over
that'd
Yeah,
be
talent.
fire.
He's the
that's
fourth
your
best
door.
player in this draft. He deserves
Watch.
to be a pick this high based on that. I think
Who's
the
their
Raiders
QB
will
now,
take this
actually?
running back Ashton
Who
Jeanty
they got? Who
over
they got?
John Membo, the offensive
I wanted to
Oh,
coordinator.
they
say
got Oh,
Mariota.
This is the football
nah, they
team that
just
didn't
traded
have
for
a
Geno
rusher for
Smith,
over
actually.
500
So,
yards last
Oh,
year.
so never
You
mind.
just
Never
can't
mind.
have
Never
that
mind.
in the NFL. So
I don't know, but
you
they may
look
try
at
to do both. We'll
that
see.
Pete Carroll
They
piece of
might
where
run
he came
both.
from, what his philosophy is, he'd be sitting there going, how do we not take the guy?
Yeah.
It's a team that has a lot of holes, and
No.
so one
That
might
this league
think
ain't this
that
this
taking a
year ain't
running back
waiting.
is a bit of a luxury
Well,
for a team with as many needs as this team has. We're going to find out right now. I see the commissioner making his way towards the microphone. Here come the Raiders at 6.
With the 6th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Las Vegas Raiders select Ashton Jeanty, running
Whoa,
back,
Ooh,
Boise State.
it's a running
really?
back.
The running back, though?
Well, we'll go over the
Okay.
numbers one more time. What a
Okay.
season he had.
Wait,
2,600 rushing yards, 29 touchdowns. Unanimous
I don't know if
all-time.
this is
It
a
won
good
the
decision.
Maxwell Award, the
I
Doak
I'm
don't
not
Award,
going to say
either.
he's a
award,
bad
and his
player.
runner-up for
He's
the
a good
Heisman.
player. He's nice.
Fascinating
I just
life
don't know for
story. His dad
them
was a
if a
naval
running back is
officer, so
really
he
what they
played his
need
first year
today.
of high
They
school
But
didn't.
football in
They
Naples,
didn't.
Italy.
I mean, Geno is solid, but I don't know. They got a lot of holes, man.
I mean,
It's a long draft,
it is.
but
That dude is huge. Pause.
He was a workhorse. He only had one game where he had 30-plus carries in 2023. This past year, he had 8 games.
5'8",
30 or more
211.
carries. He can be
What
that
he look like?
workhorse running back for Geno Smith and for that Raider offense. Go back, contact balance,
yeah. So
game-breaking
according to the
ability,
mock draft,
explosive, right? How about catching the football?
they had
He
him
43
going.
catches in 2023. Now, 750 career carries.
Okay,
Right,
so
right?
they had him going
Also, he's a
fifth.
little loose with the football.
Oh, so it's only one
He's
off.
got to learn that.
Yeah, they
5
had him going
fumbles in
fifth actually
2023, 3 fumbles in 2024. That's 8
to the
fumbles over
Jags,
the
but the
last
Jags
couple
didn't
of
need
years.
him. They
Penn
already
State
got
game, he
Travis
had a fumble
Etienne,
loss.
so
Also had
Yeah.
another fumble in
they
that
don't need
game.
him.
In terms of a
And then they got the
guy
other
who
ball
can
too.
impact the
So
game, running, catching, and guess what? No block is that last line of protection for Geno Smith. Action Jetty will get the job done.
I mean,
yeah, but
hopefully,
Abdul Carter, he went there like he was supposed to. Will Campbell,
And then he's gone with
I
the
mean,
contact
he was
balance
supposed to
and game
go.
breaking
Yeah, so I
speed.
don't know. We'll
Hey,
see.
I'm
We'll
against running
see.
backs in the first
yeah.
round going ability. Like I said, fourth best player in the draft, and Pete Carroll wants to run the ball and take some of that pressure off of Geno Smith.
I love it. You finally
Huh.
around to the running back after all these years.
I'll meet you halfway on the court.
I love it. Greeny,
Yeah, Mason Graham, he actually jumped up.
he
That's
has to have
funny.
the National Football League.
So he was
When you make
projected to
a
go
guy miss in the
13th.
hole,
So,
he can do that. From a
but
contact balance standpoint, when you get hit, can you absorb the first hit and then continue on? He can do that. And then the third thing, can you take it to the house? He does all three of those things well. That's why he'll be a successful NFL running back.
Greeny, I had the privilege of seeing this young man up close and personal.
It's crazy. I
at the
remember when
Fiesta
Roger
Bowl
Goodell
this
was
year, and I
hated.
said when we were preparing for that
I mean,
game,
he still is. They
this is Emmitt
booed him when he
Smith.
first came
This is
out.
Emmitt
So
Smith
No, they
with
always
the
do.
breakaway
yeah, but you can only do
the
it so
vision
much.
and
You
the
can't
elusiveness.
do it
He's
all
built
night.
like a
At a certain
bodybuilder,
point, it's just
like
like
a power lifter, but he's got the jump cut ability to get that ball out on the perimeter, and then you just see the lower body power as he's weaving his way through traffic with like that next level vision. He's going to rip off plus 20, 30, 40-yard runs on
Really,
the
you
regular.
comparing
Emmitt
him to
Smith,
Emmitt
he did
Smith?
this on the regular at the
It's
NFL
a,
level.
it's a big
With
comparison, and I hate the Cowboys, but he was a good
it was
running
the
back.
vision, it was the lower body balance, the ability to see things that other people simply couldn't see. And he didn't have the kind of speed, the kind of breakaway speed that Ashton Genty has. And when you talk about
what?
contact balance
Yeah.
at first,
All
and the
That's
right.
ability
crazy.
They
to
jumped
get
out. They
yardage
jumped out the
after initial
window.
contact,
See,
I
nobody
mean, you
does
got to
it
sell the
better
product
than
though,
this
right?
guy.
I get it.
Nobody. And then
Yeah,
look
he
at him
out
turn
though.
on the Jets. It's easy. It's easy, smooth
He ain't Saquon,
acceleration.
but
And
he
I'm
fast
telling you,
though.
when you get up
Yo,
on him
he was
close,
the one that
you will
said that
think, how
basically
did
he's
this
trying
guy
to
have that kind
impact
of
the
stride
next
length to be
squad
able to run
like
like that?
Saquon.
Emmitt
No
Smith was
one's
the
like
same
him.
way. If you didn't get a good hit on him, if you didn't
That's
rev him up,
disrespect.
he was
The
going
fact
to
that there
the
was like
house
Yo,
with
8
you.
people
Now, here on
around
this
him.
run in particular,
I
he's
like
yo,
I
able to
said,
Emmitt
see
I
fast
that
hated.
though.
distance.
I know
And
I
I
hated.
don't think
Listen,
this is
I
a
hate that he
Ron
was a
Rivera by any
Cowboy,
means.
but he was a
This
great
is a
running
great
back.
player, the Vegas Raiders this
He's
time.
up
How
there
you
in
feel
my
about him
top.
on the
That you
Cardinals?
could ever possibly ask for
Oh, he
in
was
driving the
garbage.
business back to the stage.
That was look tied
Greeny,
together by
Ashton, you
tape and
told
glue.
me that at 10 years old you knew you were born to play this game.
At
Standing
10
up
years
here
old, my man
now,
looked 10
an
years old.
NFL running
I
back,
know.
top 6
You want to
pick.
cry?
What would you say
Young
to your
ball.
10-year-old self?
Man, just continue to trust in God and your abilities and stay disciplined. All your goals and dreams are accomplishable.
Raiders' new head coach Pete Carroll loves to build a team
Yeah,
around running
Pete
the
Carroll.
football. He used to coach
He
one of his
do
favorites
with
in
Marshawn.
Marshawn Lynch. How will you bring beast mode to Vegas?
Yeah, I think just that same energy, that attitude he comes with that nobody can tackle them on the football field.
All right, congratulations. The highest selection ever for a Boise State player.
Thank you so much.
Greeny.
Molly, the Raiders averaged 3.6
Okay.
yards per rush last year, last
Hey,
in the NFL.
they hype.
Look at the celebration. Lone
Of course
Star
they
That's love
hype for
though.
they
Texas.
hype for their bull.
Congratulations, you have produced a first
Don't let
pick
nobody
in
do
the
nothing dumb.
NFL draft.
Don't let
We'll
nobody
be
do
right
nothing
back.
dumb. I don't know. So back to what we were saying about Uncle Shay. Unc, I'm gonna just say it like this.
Ambassador has opened a new.
I just think that if anybody could come out on the positive end of it, it's him. And that's because he's professional at all times. He's not like he's not like he's not like your normal typical person that, oh man, you're gonna put, listen, ESPN, if they drop him, they would be losing a giant. It'll be like almost what Skip Bayless did. They'd be losing the giant reason that their revenue has spiked. Mind you, their revenue is probably the highest because of Stephen A. and the LeBron James stuff. But he is by far the second reason why that ESPN First Take is the way it is. Like I mean, how many of us look for the, I don't care if it was Chris Paul, RuPaul, James Paul, Lakers in 5. We look.
He said Chris Paul, RuPaul. Hey
we
yo,
we look for that.
we can't associate that with Shannon no
I
more.
know,
Nah,
I know, I know.
I think those rumors have been debunked, indefinitely for now.
Right.
But yeah, nah, honestly, I mean, this is gonna. I'm not gonna say it's gonna hurt viewership. If anything, it might even increase viewership, right? Because I don't think people are gonna not watch, but I think people are gonna watch in wake of him not being there, and this gives them
Yeah.
an excuse to make another big acquisition of talent in the meantime.
That's true.
Um,
That's true. Shay Shay is growing. Shay Shay Media is growing.
well, no, I'm just saying in his absence, I think they could probably fill in the gap with somebody else.
I don't.
There's a
I
star board
mean,
every
but
day,
who?
so
But I'm saying
who?
is who brings
I'm,
that charisma that he does?
well, that's the thing. I mean, you got the guys from. Not to say that any of them will come over, at least on a daily. Like, this is what Shannon's there. What on like what 2 days a
He
week? He's there. What every
no
Monday, Tuesday,
no he increased it. He increased it. He's there Monday, Tuesday. I
and then
think Monday,
Friday,
Tuesday,
right?
Friday. Yeah.
Okay, so that's the thing. So he's Monday, Tuesday, Friday. So I think obviously Monday, Tuesday is usually like the football days, right? So I
Yeah.
mean, if he'll be back for football, it's more or less who are they getting this in the summer. But there's opportunity, right? Because you got NBA, was it NBA on TNT? Those guys end up coming over soon. So my thinking is that
True.
man, you could probably get one of those guys, right? Like I don't know if Chuck wants to do the job 2 days a week,
I
but you know what I
can't. They
mean.
don't. Chuck don't watch. None of them watch games. The only person that watch games is Ernie and
And
Kenny. They're the only ones that watch games. Those two don't watch games. They're just there for the comedic aspect of it. So
But I don't know. I mean, but you know what? Honestly, I would go in a different direction. I would probably bring in another player. I mean, NBA thing. If I'm
well, they
about
already
it,
got Cam. You could put Cam on full time, which Cam's not a bad. He's not a bad asset to have.
nah. But honestly, I want somebody from basketball, man. I would
You said
probably
from basketball.
I would try to post Draymond. You know what I mean? I would try to get
Yeah, that would
Draymond.
work. That work. That
'Cause,
work. Dream. Yeah, but he would have to retire.
that first episode, nah, they don't have to retire. It's just it's the playoffs, but I mean,
Yeah.
this is me making the assumption that the Warriors aren't gonna make the finals. But
I don't think
yeah,
they're gonna
back
make
for the
the
summer.
final.
Bring Draymond back for the summer.
Listen. Right now, I'm listen. This is a hot take right now. I got the
Okay,
listen. Look. I got the Rockets in 5, bro. I mean
Rockets
6.
in 5,
No, I got the
Rockets in
Rockets in
6.
6. Yeah, I got the Rockets in 6.
Against who? You winning the chip?
No, beating
Oh, beating
the
the Warriors.
yeah the Warriors. Yeah.
I mean, we'll see. I mean, we'll see. We'll see.
Listen,
I mean,
listen,
the Rockets still just they're a little wet behind the ears. I like their team. I like their squad. I like all the players. They
listen.
definitely got the firepower. They got all the talent in the world to make it happen. But
They
I don't
do,
think
and
they're gonna do
remember,
it.
what's the name
I don't
just
think they're
lost?
gonna
Remember,
do it.
what's the name just lost? Jimmy.
Who Warriors?
Jimmy
Oh,
got hurt.
Jimmy's that.
Jimmy got
Oh dang,
hurt.
I didn't. Dang,
Yeah,
I didn't realize he was done.
Bembo just moves out
yeah.
the right
Jimmy got
back. They,
hurt.
they just
So
slot him right in there. They're really solid on the
who?
interior
Oh,
already.
somebody
And
pick
this
somebody.
young man, I'll tell you what, he dominated
Nah,
people this year.
what pick is
Some of
in?
these, it was hard to find things
Oh, they
Oh,
got
so
a
the
online
they
Jets
got a
already
about a
picked.
guy as big as he is,
they got an
'Em.
OT.
sub 5
Yeah,
seconds in the
man,
40. Incredible prospect.
they needed that.
He's the fourth
Yeah.
offensive lineman the Jets have drafted in the first round since 2020, which is the most of any team in the NFL. And over the years, the reactions of the fans of the New York Jets to their picks have become the stuff of draft day legend.
How they look?
The Jets, second round selection, Marion Barber.
Oh,
Johnny Mitchell, tight end, Nebraska.
look at the dismal.
And the fans are letting it know which way
They would have Warren Sapp.
Kyle Grady.
What's her name? Ooh, no.
Oh, that was when they got Pennington, right?
Nah, yeah.
Look, they
Oh my
mad. Oh,
God.
Sam Darnold.
Quarterback, BYU.
So how they
How you
react
feeling today?
now?
They like
They,
they like
we got it.
whatever.
They like whatever. Dang, we gotta wait until pick number 32 unless they go up.
Yeah, they're not going. I mean, it's not worth it, man. I don't know. I feel like we're pretty good at most of the positions we need, man. I mean, honestly,
So
like
listen, I would just want to re-up. I would want to shore up the line on defense, on defensive end, on defense. Like I said, we lost two big hits. We lost Williams and we lost BG and we lost who else? Oh no. You know what? You might be right. We might not need anybody because we're short at quarterback. I'm at corner because we
Yeah,
got Ringo
I feel like we're solid. I mean, honestly, like if anything, I mean, honestly, I would like
draft
get the best guys you can in this draft, right?
for depth.
But I don't know, but a couple other guys. I mean, we should be trying to get some guys on some prove it deals. You know what I mean? Like, because I feel like our core is pretty much intact. I mean, a
I
couple
agree.
guys left. So like, Josh Sweat, that's a hurt piece, but I don't think we were gonna pay him all that money.
No,
Um,
no.
I was a little tight for Mekhi Becton for leaving because
That one,
taking the bunny
that
and run because we definitely rebuilt that man's career.
no.
But
The craziest part is the fact that he went out and started asking people for a kidney for his mother.
I mean, hey, there's nothing wrong with that. You gotta do what you gotta
No,
do, man.
no, 100%. 100%. I'm just stating that he definitely did leave us high and dry. But I mean, I can't be mad at him. He wanted his money.
Yeah, I mean,
But we did
you say we,
revive your career though, bro.
yeah. So I mean, that's that there. But hey, man, we gotta do what we gotta deal with here. So I mean, we'll re up. I mean, but like I said, we're gonna make some smart picks. We're gonna get the best guys we can get, the positions we got. But at this point now, I think we just gotta really just a couple guys with some prove it deals and see what we can do from here. So at least
Yeah,
that's what I'm thinking. All right, we back in.
we
What's up with
back.
all these commercials, man?
Yeah,
They doing
listen,
so many commercials. They actually missing picks, yo. Like that's crazy. I've never seen that before, yo. This is a
They try and
travesty.
these commercials try and get their ends in for their money. They paid
Nah,
good money for this.
they paid their money, yeah. So they gotta get in. I'm not mad at them. I'm just
We are mixing picks though.
mad at my experience here. All
No,
right,
it
so let me see
is.
here. So Green Bay is next. Nah, Panthers are next. Huh. I mean, honestly, I'm not really mad at the Panthers situation right now. I mean, honestly, their QB is actually
Um,
all right, yo. Bryce
who?
Young is solid,
Bryce
yo.
Young?
Bryce Young,
He is
yeah,
solid. He
Bryce
is
Young.
solid, but you just got to give him. You got to give him better pieces and a better line.
So I don't hate it, man. He's actually pretty fun to watch. I don't really
He
get
is.
to too many of their
He
games, but you know what I mean.
he reminds me. He reminds me of what um what's the name over in Buffalo was Deshaun Watson.
Who's still available? Shador Sanders, quarterback running, ideal for New Orleans.
Oh
Tyler
yeah, back when
Warren,
he
the
was
Jets
good.
pass on Brock
Yeah.
Bowers. Now they pass on.
Dag Shador, are you gonna fall out the first round, bro? Hello. Yo, what happened?
My bad. Yeah, I got booted out. Something about my
What?
my feed got a little crazy there. Ain't that? There we go.
Moving up to number 2.
Sorry, y'all.
The 8th pick is in the
We got it
Carolina
back. I
Panthers
promise you.
moving
I
to number
promise you. We got it back. So what are you
With the
saying
8th
here?
pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Carolina Panthers select Teteroa McMillan, wide receiver,
Wow.
Arizona.
What did you say there? Right? Got to give him some
So that
pieces,
one is really
right?
what we expect.
Yeah, you got to give him pieces. If you get him pieces,
Yeah.
then now he can really throw.
To Arizona as the highest rated recruit in the history of that school. Mel, his last 2 seasons, he had 174 catches for over 2,700 yards and
Wait,
18
are we live?
touchdowns.
Live?
Yeah. 2,700 yards. It's crazy. Yeah, we live live.
Sheesh. Dubs in the
Yo,
chat. Dubs in the chat for look. Go Birds in the chat.
Think about where we are with Teteroa McMillan. He's 19 right now.
I'll throw it in there. I get y'all started,
So
man.
I thought Matthew Golden from Texas would be the first receiver taken, but hey,
Can we get a Go Birds in the chat, y'all? I know y'all at work.
That's why Drake London was a comp, and certainly Mike Evans. If you want to stretch it, Evans, I would not do that. I think when you look at Teteroa McMillan, doing it against college cornerbacks. Not being able to get great separation is the reason why I thought his stock dropped a bit. We've all talked about.
All right, let's see these highlights, man.
Okay. Hey,
Yeah, but he said he can't get. Yeah, he's 6'4".
The NFL, you got to love it to be able to compete against the great
Doesn't look that
players in
tall.
the NFL.
No, he doesn't.
Production over a 3-year period was consistent. Noah Fafita came on at quarterback, really helped his cause. But
I mean, his routes is simple though.
He doesn't seem that fast, but he's smooth though.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just.
He's just a big body.
Yeah. The arms.
Yeah, a lot of it was just a toss ball. See.
Because you give him a bigger body to throw the football.
Yeah, it was just a body.
Adam Thielen.
Jump
now
balls.
You're giving him a bigger body, bigger catch
Yeah,
radius.
speed isn't really quite there, but
No, not at all. And his route running is a little bit much.
Yeah, good hands though.
Like, that's my biggest
Yeah.
concern for him. I get the body control. I get how pretty he looks. I get the contested catches. But
That's how
can he
pretty
get
he
open
looks.
in the NFL? Drake London is a fair comparison. He didn't take off in the NFL in Atlanta until they moved him inside in the slot.
He really don't look that tall.
Releases. So will they have to move T-Mac inside, or can he get open on the outside?
Well, which is where he played plenty at Arizona. He played in the slot quite often in Arizona. And Jed Fish, who coached him down there before he left to go to Washington.
Oh, that's kind of dope. I like that.
Some really nice things with him.
What?
Getting him on linebacker.
You got the little selfie cam jump where they come out on stage.
Yeah, they can put their hat on.
And his catch radius is something Bryce Young can
Put the John
absolutely
Rodgers
need.
down.
You see him here hugging the commish. All these guys, you can just see like the release that they have when they go up here. But Ted's going to have a good career in Carolina. He just needs to make sure he takes care of business.
A very nice moment there as he placed the lay on the commissioner there. Teteroa McMillan was a very proud winner of the Polynesian Player of the Year awards, both in high school and in college. So that's a lovely.
Boy, look like he's about to kiss him.
He was a high school teammate of Mason
Back up, sir.
who was drafted earlier
Hey,
tonight.
dog.
And our
He in the
Dream
moment.
just came true. Dream just
He in the
came true.
moment.
It might be another one, you know. You know, athletic dreams and wet dreams, the same
Yeah.
same jump. You know what I mean? So
Hilarious.
get it 2 for 1.
That had not been forecast pretty much anywhere that I'd looked.
Well, because we thought Carolina was going to go defense, but I get the fact, Greeny, they're trying to help the young quarterback.
Yeah, they probably
that
should have went
seems to be the
defense,
new
but-
thing. Do
Yeah.
you fortify the defense and keep the points down, or do you try to evaluate the young quarterback by getting him some weapons? I like the move. Bryce Young came on at the end of last season. We started to see promise. And so if you're Carolina, why not help the young quarterback to see if you can continue this climb that he's made toward the end of last season?
Taking the wide receiver is perhaps not the big surprise. Which receiver it was might be a bit of a surprise to some. In the meantime, Verizon Business.
Yeah, because this dude here, what is saying?
Molly.
What was he ranked?
He wasn't set to go until
second round.
Nah, actually, the Cowboys are actually saying to get him, so they were saying he was gonna go 12.
Man,
So
you know, at the
Wow.
end of the day, the people that came before me is the people that laid the foundation and set the precedents for me to be successful today. So
Precedents?
set the presidents. You know what I mean? They set them trumps for when we're supposed to be today. You know what I mean? So
Like precedents. Calm down. Take a deep breath. Breathe.
you know.
Man, I'm ready to do whatever it takes. I know I got a
See?
quarterback I can trust in.
Just like you said, he looked like he's about to kiss Roger Goodell in his mouth, dog. He
Yeah,
said he's
see-
willing to do whatever it takes, man. Whatever it takes, yo. Whatever it takes, yo.
That looks good on you. Congratulations.
All right, thank you so much.
Greeny.
All right, Molly, thank you very much.
Dad, these picks are going in really quickly.
On the clock. And
Moving fairly quickly. I mean, which is good, man. I got my bedtime, man. So
Yeah. Who's the so the Saint is the Saint? Who is it? Who's up next?
Saints up next. And remember how everybody was talking about the Saints early last season? We were like at like week 2, week 3, and
And they
everybody
got
was like,
that.
yo, the
They
Saints.
got that BTA by us.
Yeah. Same thing with Atlanta. Atlanta caught an easy one on us. Everybody thought Atlanta was gonna be that team.
Yep.
Look what happened to that, right?
Yep. You think Shador's going to New Orleans or he's going to the Cowboys?
I don't know, man. I can see him going to the Cowboys though. But the only thing
Me
is, the
too.
Cowboys still got Dak too, though. If the Cowboys draft him, they got to figure out the situation.
They listen. If the
It won't make sense for them to have Dak and
I know, and they got Trey Lance.
Here's the commissioner to announce the pick for New Orleans.
Shador going to New Orleans.
With the
New Orleans?
ninth pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the New Orleans Saints select Kelvin Banks Jr.
Wow. That's a DT, right?
Banks Jr. is one of the most decorated linemen in Texas history. He
Yeah.
was a unanimous
Well,
All-American
no.
as
I
a
can tell you.
junior last
Now,
year. He won the
yep.
Outland Trophy. He won the
Oh,
Offensive
that's
line.
crazy. He dropped. He dropped. Actually, he was supposed to actually come down to. He was supposed to go 6, so he can't. He dropped back.
And Mel, he was a huge part of the
OT.
of Longhorns football under
Yep.
Steve Sarkisian.
The offensive line's an issue. I just wonder who's going to be playing quarterback for this football team moving
Is he
forward.
home?
Where we are right now in that division. Shador Sanders is sitting there.
Yeah, it looks like he's home.
Who didn't
All right.
have a great year at Texas. Now, he's a little banged up. But there were times where some guys were getting the best of Kelvin Banks Jr. You have to go back really to 2023 to see Kelvin Banks Jr. at
It's a
his
big
best.
dude.
Prior to that, when he came in,
Yeah, I
Heck,
know.
6'5", 315.
he was projected to be maybe a top
He
5.
Yeah,
moving
Shador.
people.
Play up to the level
Oh
of the
man,
talent that he
Shador
shared.
might not
He's a
go
little banged
until
up, Lou, but the talent, if you go back to
It's looking like he'll drop to the
2023,
second.
it was in abundance.
because like all right, so because you got all right, so you got Chicago next.
And he could not rave about
Yeah.
You
this
got
man
San
more
Fran.
because of his
You got
competitiveness, the teammate he is.
Dallas.
He's a guy who
You got
overcomes adversity.
Miami.
Look, he had dealt with some things as far as
Then you
health
got
with
the
his family.
Colts,
It never
Indiana,
distracted him. He
baby.
was continuously
Atlanta.
there
He
for
ain't going to
his team. As you
Atlanta.
mentioned, he wasn't
He ain't going
100%
to
healthy,
Arizona.
but when
He ain't going to the
this
Bengals.
guy is smooth and fluid as water. Big, heavy head.
Probably not the
He's got a nasty
Seahawks.
playing personality. He can pass protect
Dang, yo.
with the very best of them, and the New Orleans
Yeah,
Saints need it.
Shador
They're one of the
may
very
end up
worst teams in
sitting.
the NFL in terms of pass block win rate in 2024.
I
You're
mean,
right, Mel.
at this one, I'm probably thinking maybe Vikings.
And someone who can help them compete in the South and in the NFC.
Maybe
overall.
Rams if they want a
This guy's
project.
building block.
I mean,
He
that's
needed
a
player like this,
you talking about
and
a
he is
project
ultimately
for
Sark
a
could
project
not be
after
happier and more effusive in his praise for Kelvin Banks.
And it kind of goes with how Mickey Loomis built his team.
That's crazy.
He got
Yeah,
the
yo.
last 10 picks
Yeah,
ready.
Shador might not go this round. Huh.
That's what I
We'll see.
said. Because a lot of the whistle names are like they already got quarterbacks.
He's got to play. He's got to finish a little bit more, finish his blocks. But I love, as Lewis says, a building block for the Saints as they look for their quarterback in the future that they have to get at some point.
In our countdown show, Adam Schefter suggested the Saints may be looking to target a quarterback
I don't know.
in the second round. Meanwhile, we have an update on the scheduling release. Laura
What happened?
and Colleen Wolf join us. Laura.
Ladies and gentlemen, NFL
All right, what y'all
fans
saying?
everywhere, hold on to your hats because boy, do we have an announcement for you. Live from the heart of the NFL draft right here
That's
in
crazy.
Green Bay, Wisconsin.
So that jacket
That's right, Colleen.
with those red velvet pants, yeah, that's quite the outfit there.
The NFL
It is.
calendar. It sets the stage for a thrilling season. Yeah, this is when we get to geek out over
Well, look at-
every single game and bye week, the primetime revenge and rematches, those late season divisional dates.
Didn't we
that
get
end up
the
deciding
what's his
playoff spots.
name?
And who's playing
Get what?
at Lambeau in December?
Oh, the pick is already in. You wasting time.
You'll find out soon, okay? How about these rookies, the players who are drafted here tonight? When and
Hey, it's
where
promotional
do they make
stuff,
their
man.
NFL debuts? We're going to find that out as well. Let's not forget the expanding lineup of international games as well as Christmas, Thanksgiving Day.
You're
There's so
talking
many
too much. The
captivating
pick is
matchups.
already in.
Yes, because nothing says holiday cheer like watching your team destroy another. So, without further ado, everybody, get it together, mark your calendars, set your alarms. The schedule will be dropped on May 14th. There we
Hey,
go. Lock it in. We can't wait.
May
You can tweet
14th.
it out.
You
Tell
talk about for the you talk
everybody.
about for the
And
you talk about for
be sure to check out all the
the
great
who plays
content
who?
from the
Yeah,
NFL
the
team sites,
schedule.
the club social
I mean,
channels,
so what?
around
We
the
all
country.
listen.
Tune in
We
to
know
the
all we
NFL
care about is
Network
who
as
we're
well as
playing.
ESPN2.
Well, yeah,
Full
but
coverage of
timing,
the
you know what I
thrilling
mean?
2025
Time and place
True.
matters.
May 14th just around the
I know,
corner.
but
Listen,
most of the
man,
time we
we
always know
know
At this point, guys, get
we
ready.
know who we're
always
playing.
For the
We
greatest
know who we're
season of
playing.
your
It's just
lives.
what time and when and where. You know what I mean? Got to get that calendar ready. You know what I mean?
So there you have
true.
it,
I
May
agree.
14th, which is
You know
a
what I mean? Got to figure out a
Wednesday,
day
the
where you can come through and get smoked,
2025
man, and
NFL
cook off. You know what I
schedule.
mean? Before the
That
game. You know?
that
So
Green Bay booing.
We'll have the full Monday night football schedule for you as
That
well.
Green Bay
The
booing.
schedule
They
release
hate the
stream
Bears.
on
yeah, of
ESPN+.
course.
You may be wondering why are they booing so loudly here now, and that is because the Chicago Bears have just been announced as on the clock, and in fact, that's
Shador?
already.
No, he just got a
There's
quarterback.
no rivalry in any American professional sport, and that includes all of them, quite like the Bears and the Packers, which goes back to the very beginning of the National Football League's history. And so these Packer fans will boo
Nothing was better
Bears even
than
more
Dallas
loudly than
picking
they
in,
boo the
in
commissioner
than
here from
Eagles
the
picking in Dallas,
Foxborough
bro.
Ranch.
Nothing was
Chicago
better than that.
selection at 10.
All right, Shy, what y'all got?
Yesterday, the NFL family lost a true legend.
Who?
Bears Hall of Famer Steve McMichael.
Oh,
My heart is with the McMichael family during this
McMichael?
incredibly difficult time. Misty, please know that you are in our thoughts and prayers.
Can he speak?
Mongo's remarkable contributions to the game and the community will never be forgotten. His legacy will continue to inspire generations to come. 50 years ago, with the fourth pick in the 1975 NFL Draft, the Chicago Bears selected one of Steve McMichael's teammates and closest friends, Walter Payton, running back, Jackson State.
Walter Payton was the man.
Yeah, man.
Walter would go on to rush for nearly 17,000 yards and 110 touchdowns over 13 seasons, all with the Chicago Bears. As you heard earlier, the NFL continues to honor Sweetness not only for his performance and excellence on the field, but also his commitment to give back to his community. With the
Yo, they
Walter
saying that
Payton
Shannon should get with
NFL
Tracy
Man of
Ellis
the Year
Ross.
Award.
Oh my gosh.
So with the 10th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft,
He's dead. Right booing. Dang.
the Chicago Bears select Colston Loveland, tight end, Michigan.
A tight end?
That's
That's
not bad
safe.
though.
That's safe.
Nah, he need man. What's the name, man? Caleb Williams. He needed somebody, man. Caleb Williams, man. That's funny. He was projected to go at that same exact pick too. So
That's
that's good
crazy.
for them. Because man, I was seeing what was happening to Caleb Williams so these games all season, man. He was getting harassed. Not good. Not good.
Not good at all.
Who had been expected to be the first tight end off the
draft. Colts at 14, got to be sitting there hoping Tyler Warren slides down to them a few picks from now. But look at Colston Loveland. His shoulder injury is going to be fine, ready for camp, no issue there.
Dang, 49ers already got their pick in.
Yeah, dog.
His 56 catches, single.
This is the fastest draft.
Nah, just all this talk and all this preliminary. That's what it is. So
True.
announcing the schedule.
Blocking needs to improve, but what did they want? They have Cole Kmet. They want a third receiving.
I mean, but most teams know who they want typically. I mean, I think there's still some moving, some jockeying right now, but I mean, I think people already have their contingencies, so everybody knows who they want.
That was a great route.
I mean, but it's a couple guys that dropped though, so that's the thing. So
yeah, that changes the draft board.
Yeah, so
intermediate, and he can go deep. As a defender, we don't prepare for tight
oh my goodness, his routes are pretty clean.
Essentially, he plays like a
yeah, because hold on,
he runs like a wide receiver.
Giving a young quarterback another chess piece to work with.
He runs like a wide receiver though.
Payton calls him a joker. This is the ultimate joker now that Ben Johnson and the Chicago Bears have for Caleb Williams.
Yeah, the thing about it though about him is
yeah, because what's the name didn't go yet, yeah. That's wild.
Who?
Jalen Walker didn't even go. Nah, Shador didn't go, but nah, they still got Jalen Walker. He still didn't go yet. I mean, they still had a couple other dudes, Walter Nolan. I mean, a couple guys, yeah, a couple guys crept up. So you still got James Pierce.
Stop.
That's a handful of dudes. So I don't know.
Colston Loveland, the third tight end selected by the Bears in the first round since 1960. One of them was Mike Ditka in 1961. The Niners will choose next on ESPN.
All right, it's a lot of commercials right now. They got the picks in and they still going to commercial, huh?
I would not be going to commercials. Do you realize that this joint possibly could be over by like 10:30, 11? If they was just let the picks go in.
Nah, they ain't gonna do that.
I know. They want all the money.
They gonna milk this for all it's worth here right now, so they gonna do what they gotta do. This young, they got this time slot. I think they got this time slot till like what, midnight maybe?
Yeah.
So they gonna try to get as much as they can out of these guys, out of the slot, and just run as many ads as they can. So yo, shouts out. Thank everybody that's watching right now. Live streaming and whatnot. So
thanks, yeah. Shouts out to y'all. Y'all could be any place else, but y'all here with us.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, man. Yo, thank you for joining me real quick. You know what I mean? So
Oh, thanks.
kind of
Oh,
put
thanks for
this
the
and patch
invite.
this up together. So everybody that's listening, a couple people that text me, DM me. No, we are not replacing we're not replacing Romeo with Bino. Bino's just here just kicking it. I invited some other
Yeah,
people to come out here and kick it for the draft, but everybody ignore me. But we still got y'all.
yeah.
Podcast will be back pretty soon. We just are really busy, but we got some cool new things coming out. So when we do get started back up again, it's gonna be lit. But when that happens, maybe sooner than you think, but it's gonna be very interesting.
Mm.
What
I mean,
else
the
we got
top. By the
here?
time y'all get back, the topics is gonna be crazy.
I mean, hey, this is always something to talk about. It's something that happens every week, right? So
True.
every
True.
week, every day, every moment, second, hour. So there's always gonna be some news to be covered. It just depends whether or not
True.
we feel like covering it or not. You know what I mean? So that's that.
So
And there's
where
always
do
gonna
you
be.
think it's possible that Shador's gonna go?
I mean, I'm going down the list here, man. It's looking kind of rough for my man. Cause
Hold
all
on,
right,
I lost you
he's.
again.
Oh, can you hear
Sound
me?
went out. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but your sound went out.
Okay, but you can hear me though, right? You hear me? Nah, there shouldn't be any sound on the
Hold on,
TV
I'll
here.
back out
So
real quick and come back in.
all right, cool. All right,
All right.
so I don't know if you still got the stream going or whatever or not. So all right, so just for courtesy for some of the folks that weren't here that's joining us now, we're gonna go through some of the picks here. We just got through what top 10 here. So first overall, Cam Ward to Miami, from out of Miami to Tennessee. You got Travis Hunter going second overall to the Jags. You got Abdul Carter going to the New York Midgets. You got Will Campbell going number 4 to the New England Patriots. Mason Graham going number 5 to the Cleveland Who's. Ashton Genty, probably pronouncing that wrong. Homeboy can actually run. He's actually nice. He's going to the Raiders. I don't necessarily know why they picked the running back, but he's nice though. So we'll see what it is. They got Pete Carroll. We'll see what happens there. Number 7, Armand Membo going to the Jets. Tackle, whatever. Number 8, Tetero. See, I'm messing it all up. McMillan. They got that boy Bryce Young and Rod receiver. So, he went number 8. Kelvin Banks went number 9. Another tackle going to the Saints, and then Colston Loveland, tight end going to the Bears. That's actually a really good pick for them. So that's solid. I like that. So all right, let's get back into it, man. Looks like we back. Bino's back. All right, we here.
Yep.
Man, can we share her? All right, you back? All right, cool.
Yep.
Get the audio here. Oh, we got Adam Schefter. What you talking? What you reporting?
Team could wind up trading up and in, so we'll have to wait and see how this unfolds. In the meantime, our house announcer
Okay, so
Alan
San
Roach
Fran's in.
has
Who did they pick?
San Fran.
Please direct your attention to the main
Shador Sanders because Brock Purdy ass.
I lost the sound again. I don't know if it's on your end that I'm losing the sound.
Airbase in Japan.
You're losing me, man.
Hello from United States Forces Japan. I'm Sergeant Mitchell Johnson. I'm here with service members from the United States Army, Marine Corps, and Navy. We are proud to announce that this year we are celebrating our 250th anniversary. We are grateful for the opportunity to partner with the NFL Salute to Service and the USO in introducing the San Francisco 49ers 2025 draft pick.
Hey, shouts out to you.
San Francisco 49ers draft pick. Back to you in Green Bay.
Thank you for your service, folks. USA. USA. Bino, you still there?
Thank you to our men and women who serve in the
Dang, I think I
United
lost
States
them.
military for your sacrifices to defend our country's freedom. With the 11th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the San Francisco 49ers select Michael Williams, defensive end, Georgia.
Michael Williams, 5 sacks last year. 2 of those came in the SEC title
It's
game
actually
against
not a bad
Texas.
pickup for
He was a
them.
5-star recruit from Columbus, Georgia. 14 sacks in
They
3
gave us some guys
seasons
last season
after
too.
starting his very
Well, you
first
heard him
game
sell it, so
as a true freshman and still very young, Mel. He won't turn 21 years old until late June.
Yeah, he had a high
what?
grade going into the season, Greeny. Then he had that ankle
Grown man.
injury, left ankle injury against Clemson, came back from it and played and
Grown
didn't
man.
shut it down. Continued to play, continued to be somewhat productive. He had 9 tackles lost, he had 5 sacks. He forced a couple fumbles. He looks the part of an edge rusher in the National Football League with his size, his long arms, 34.5 arms, and huge hands. What he needs to do is get a more repertoire of moves going, coming after the quarterback off the edge. I thought he played the run great. He has a strong run defender off the edge, but as a pass rusher, I thought a little bit more work. That pass rush specialist that these teams have what to get the most out of Michael Williams, folks.
He's got the things that you cannot teach: the traits, the height, the arm length, the ability to set the edge and play the run. We know he's technically sound playing at Georgia the way Kirby Smart coaches defense. The only concern I have is when it comes to using those traits and getting to the passer. I didn't see much of a rush plan, Lou. I didn't see any moves besides the speed to power. He's going to have to continue to develop the moves, because when you get to the National Football League level, just the traits won't win. You have to have more than traits. You need to be able to have a pass rush arsenal. How are you going to beat the offensive tackle and get to the quarterback? John Lynch loves him. He loves defensive line. You're going to pair him with Nick Bosa, create 2 bookends. But is he going to be able to live up to this ceiling as far as the pass rush arsenal? I want to see that.
Yeah, they needed to restock the cover in San Francisco on defensive line. This used to be, that position used to be the heartbeat of that football team, both lines of scrimmage, in fact, defensive and offensive line. They need to restock that. Michael has not produced on a consistent basis the way you would think his measurables should bear themselves out. Mel mentioned the fact that he was injured this year. He said himself, he played at maybe 60% most of the year. He's got to tie it all together. Robert Saleh, the defensive coordinator now for San Francisco, has to get it out of him.
Michael Williams, the first player ever out of Georgia to be selected by San Francisco in the first round in the Common Draft era. And so the Dallas Cowboys selection is in. An interesting one to make with their new head coach.
Cowboys, oh boy.
Schottenheimer. Here comes the commissioner
Yo.
to the stage.
You.
The Cowboys at
All right, we got
Can
you
you hear
back.
me?
Just in time for, yep, just in time.
Oh my gosh. If they pick Shador, Dak gonna be low. He know he out the door.
With the 12th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Dallas Cowboys select Tyler Booker, guard, Alabama.
Here's a
Is that a?
All-American who just turned 21.
Oh, he a guard?
Yeah.
They're trying to replace Tyron Smith.
That's crazy though, but I don't think he was.
I don't
Hold
think he was
on.
projected to go top.
I don't
But
think
yeah,
he's projected to even go in the first. That's crazy.
He's a powerhouse inside. He will beat you up. I'll tell you, it's a heavyweight fight when you go up against Tyler Booker, and you better bring it, because he will beat you up. As a run blocker, he'll drive you off the ball.
I didn't see him going.
that was a reach. They may see something that we don't see.
Yeah.
It's got to be scheme fit. Movement's not his game. But
That's different.
That a power blocking team. He can drive you off the ball, and I thought, like I say, his pass pro skills at Alabama.
That's crazy. I'm happy I didn't put any money on these bets, yo, because they
retires and Zach Martin, and you draft another guy who's got, I think, has that kind of potential as a guard if you use him the right way.
yeah, but they jumped though.
Hopefully, this is the dude. Listen, I think that this is a desperate pick because they're trying to replace Tyron Smith.
Understand how to use him. You don't need to pull him around the edge and allow him to get on corners. Allow him to go downhill and displace the defenders and climb to the second level. This is a need pick. I think he's the best guard in the draft.
He told him to calm down.
But building the trenches is something that Dallas is trying to do, right? I mean,
He wasn't.
He's someone who,
Let me see what he looked like.
That's crazy.
6'4", 321. That's a big dude, but
when he did, he could absolutely move.
I don't know. This is
a reach.
Yeah, this is. I mean, he wasn't. He's not even. He's not in anybody's projected first. Yeah, this is. This is wild. All right.
I did think he got a little top heavy, got out over his toes some. If he went up against a good 3 technique, was able to get on his edge and make
whatever.
Laterally, he got
it is what it is. Yep,
yeah,
it is what it is.
Are the
So I ain't gonna cry for them.
I'm guessing I'm guessing they're trying to protect that.
They develop this young man, getting consistent with his fundamentals.
I
So
mean,
that
maybe
he
shoot
get it
order to the
all out of him,
Colts.
and there's more plays like that
I
on the
mean,
screen than not.
They got Richardson out there,
Alabama,
but they
by
don't
the
trust
way, now
him.
17
You really going to remember he
consecutive
was just
years
drafted. You're
the
really
favorite
going to pick
player
up Shador for
selected
the
in
Colts
round one.
when you
69
just
overall
drafted a
been the longest
quarterback
streak for any school
last
in
year?
draft history. So our
yeah,
colleague Nick Saban very
That's a
that's the
much
thing
has
because
no
reach.
doubt about that
Shador might
in
not
his
go this
retirement doing
this
the tough
quarter,
task.
man.
And I
I
Because I
think
mean,
told
this
Saban
is
you.
this
knows
is this
he is.
round.
He's
Because
Obama
I
you
wonderful
told
got all
you.
right.
first-time player in the
Because
Dallas
you
I
got
told you he.
Miami
Cowboys in
next,
this selection day.
Nope, because they
And
got
then on the
Tua.
and
other
Unless they
side,
don't
we
trust
got the
yeah,
Tua.
Dolphins
they
on the cusp
solid.
here at number
I mean, they
13.
got
And the
you
Dolphins, an
know
interesting team to consider
Falcons
here as they
next after
fight
that.
in that
Then
AFC
they
East.
just
We talked
drafted.
about
Remember
Cardinals.
Miami
they
with
got Cousins
Georgia
and
George
they got a
Huntsman
what's the name that they
brought out
drafted.
onto that stage. Just such a
So they
joy to
don't need him.
watch as you see the
Yeah, so then
emotion
they
of a
got the
young man having
Cardinals.
this opportunity to be drafted by the
No.
They
Dolphins,
got
now becoming
nope.
a household
Now they got
name.
Kyler
Certainly
Murray.
be talking
Yep.
about money might
Bengals
get off
not
all
coming up.
morning long,
They're not coming off Joe
but
Seahawks.
Burrow.
pride and business takes us down to the
Seahawks.
stage with
Nope.
Colin McGrath.
Because they just
Uh,
picked up
yeah, they picked up
Tyler,
Sam
a lot of
Darnold. So
emotion
yep.
from your
and
family
then you got the
covering your youth.
Bucks.
You're brought
No.
onto this stage with a lot
Got
of
the
Nope.
emotion. What's
Broncos.
going through your
Nope.
Steelers
mind?
maybe.
I'm just glad to be a
Nope.
Cowboy. This is really a dream come true.
Because
You
they
don't think
just picked
Steelers
up
get
what's
a?
It's truly a blessing. I actually trained in Dallas, so I fell in love with the area. And the whole process, I was like, man, it would be great to be a Cowboy. And the
nobody
universe
says
just made
that.
its way. Shout out to God. Trust and believe in God. If you ever going through something, like just trust in God. He got you.
Those who know you emphasize your leadership and character. What are the Cowboys getting in you?
They're getting the same thing Alabama got. They're going to get a leader, somebody who loves to work, somebody who loves practice, somebody who loves his teammates, somebody who
Cowboys
loves to aim
garbage.
to win
You
multiple
just
championships.
became a
And
number
be a
one
part of
hater to the
the
Eagles.
success in Dallas. I'm so excited.
Congratulations,
Thank you
Tyler.
so much.
You just getting all hatred to Eagles right
Whether you
now,
were talking
and we
about
don't
on
even know who
stage
you
this
are.
morning, the emotion of moments like this. Look at him and his family.
I think I
And
think
now,
Shador. Nah,
as
because
we
because they
continue to
got
watch
Mason
the
Rudolph, but
celebration of
nah,
this
Dude,
young man,
I think Shador's
we
going to the
also bring
Steelers,
you
dog.
tonight something special because
I mean
our
that's a
coach Joe
possibility.
and
That's a
his crew red
strong
I
carpeted
possibility.
for
I think
Marvel
Shador might be
Studios'
going to the Steelers. It just
Thunderbolts,
looks like
which
that.
will be
It
available
just looks like that.
only in theaters on
Yo,
That's a
May
strong
9th.
possibility. If they pick up
yo,
Shador, he'll be. That means that he'll be in Pennsylvania.
he happy as hell.
Too
I
happy.
know. Yeah, you can never be too happy to get drafted, dog.
Well, I mean, of course, that's because your pockets just got heavy.
I mean, even if your pockets wasn't heavy, man, you in the league, man. You
That's
made it.
true.
You
That's
made it.
true. But you just went from poverty to prosperity.
You know what I mean? So you change your life, man.
You
Maybe
did.
a handful of other people's too, man. You know what I
You
mean?
did
So you
100%.
change the trajectory. Where you going?
Listen, the
So
biggest thing is you get to pay off that debt that you just get from going to college.
that's the thing. Well, a lot of these guys they didn't incur no debt. They got paid to go to college. Or
Oh.
college paid them to be there. Paid for them to be there.
Mm.
I mean, even but that'd be crazy though if you were one of those dudes to where like you went to school, you came in as a walk on. You know what I mean? So I think it was a situation like that with what was it, Dennis Rodman? I think
He
his
was a walk
situation was
on?
like that. Yeah, man. I think he was like a janitor or something like that. He was working as a janitor in school,
Wow.
and he ended up actually like getting picked up there. He wasn't a prospect at all, but he went in there. He made his way, and they were like, "Yo, dude, what are you doing? Like,
Mm.
why are you not playing
Let me toss something at you.
with
Pause.
us here?" You know what I mean?
Bro,
So,
let me tell you, I went to go look because I don't know if you heard, bookings for for the Switch 2
hmm
went live at 9 o'clock yesterday. At 9, was it 9 p.m. went live for reserves.
hmm
There's absolutely none left.
I mean, you surprised,
Yeah,
dog?
your sound went out again. I don't know what's going on, but your sound cut off again. Can you hear me?
You,
If you can hear me, shake your head, nod your head. All right. So you want me to back out again?
no, you good. Can you
I
hear me
can't
now?
hear you.
At all?
Anything. I can't hear nothing.
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 I'm only going by what you're mouthing. This keeps happening where I'll be talking to you and your sound will cut out.
I'm wondering if it's just because I'm using my headset here.
I don't think it's your
Let me.
headphones. I think it's something wrong with the setup because it'll just cut out after like maybe like 45 minutes, 30, 45 minutes.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, man. Don't know what to tell you. Um, can the people hear me? Can you hear me? Can y'all hear me?
I still can't
I
hear you.
mean, dang. All right. Well, hang
But look,
tight.
check
Give
this
me.
out. Check this out. I want to thank you for
All right.
having me. I'm gonna head out because I'm gonna get some sleep. All right, bro.
All right,
Thanks
bro.
for
Well,
having me.
listen. Thank you. Thank
Like I
you.
said, I
Thank you
hope
for
to do it
stopping through.
again. Shout outs to the chat. Go Birds in the chat. Forget the Cowboys and go Birds.
Go Birds. Go Birds. All right. Thanks, bro. Thanks for stopping through, yo. All right. Enough of me. Let's get back to this draft. And I'm gonna take a break because yeah, because of that. So there we go.
Have been made. Picks have been coming relatively quickly tonight. Very few of the teams have taken the full 10 minutes they usually do. So the Dolphins are on the clock, and the commissioner is here to announce the selection.
With the 13th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Miami Dolphins select Kenneth Grant, defensive tackle, Michigan.
And one of the stars of the national title team 2 years ago, an All-American this past year. Great size in the middle of that D-line, over 330 pounds, runs well, brings plenty of experience. Melly played in 41 games at Michigan.
Yeah, I think 30 on a big board. I think when you look at the fluctuation, both weight, because when he gets a little heavy, I thought his endurance, the stamina played a little high, wore down in some games. That's an issue. I think when he plays at the right weight, he can be a guy who can affect the path of the quarterback throwing the football, because he can break up passes. He can be disruptive. Certainly, you look at the violent, active hands. He showed that as well as Mason Graham did at Michigan. He was really going into the year thought to be almost on a par with Mason Graham. But when you look at Kenneth Grant, Calais Campbell now is an Arizona Cardinal defensive tackle. Because of that move became a need. Kenneth Grant, like I say, manage that weight. Don't have games where you, like I said, the endurance, stamina you need to be able to play full steam ahead for 60 minutes. When you play high, you're neutralized. And that's what happened with Kenneth Grant. But when he was on his game and the weight was where it needed to be, he was a really good football player. And he was a guy I thought should get better once he's in the NFL, once he learns to do that.
If you're thinking about his ceiling, think Dexter Lawrence from the New York Giants. That's the type of big man he is that can move. Athletic, can run, can make plays. This is not just a guy that's going to be a fire hydrant and sit there. This is a big man that's 330 pounds, Greeny, and he can run, he can move. He's got to become a better rusher, and I think he has all the tools because he is a twitchy 330 pounds. He uses his hands. I need more out of him in the pass rush game, but from a run standpoint, he can lock down just the way Dexter Lawrence did at Clemson.
Yeah, the coaching staff in Michigan, Wink Martindale, the defensive coordinator, thinks that this kid has tremendous upside. Anthony Weaver, the defensive coordinator in Miami, they need some beef on the inside. Gave up too many yards after contact last year as far as run defense. He'll help that.
All right, so we are 13 picks into this draft, and as we bring our research producer extraordinaire, Evan Kaplan, into the conversation, these picks have had a very distinctly different feel, Cap, from the first 13 a year ago.
Yeah, Grady, what a difference a year makes, right? Last year, the first 14 picks in the draft were all offensive players. That is the longest streak at any point in the common draft era. So far this year, through 13 picks, 9 offense, 5 defense. That adds up to 14. That's because Travis Hunter, we're counting on both sides of the ball, and only 1 QB so far in the first 13 picks tonight. We had 6 QBs through this point last year. We'll see where the next one goes off the board.
All right, the Indianapolis Colts have made their selection. That pick is in. We've been speculating about them taking a tight end all along, and there was one sitting right there for them. Let's see if that's the direction they go. Here's the commish.
With the 14th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Indianapolis Colts select Tyler Warren, tight end, Penn State.
Well, they had to be doing a dance in their draft room. This could not have fallen better for the Colts. Tyler Warren is the best tight end in Penn State's rich football history. He won the Mackey Award as the nation's top tight end last year, catching 104 passes, Mel, in what proved to be a 16-game season for the Nittany Lions.
Keep in mind, he didn't have a lot of receptions going in the year because Theo Johnson was there. Became a New York Giant. Theo Johnson did. That opened up the opportunity for Tyler Warren to become a focal point in this offense. He was a chess piece. They were creatively utilizing him in a lot of ways. Had him as a wildcat quarterback. He was a quarterback, left-handed quarterback, southpaw in high school. Great basketball player in high school. Contested catches go his way. He's got strong hands, excellent hand-eye coordination. He's a powerful young man. Running the football after the catch, running with that football. He's a fullback. He is a powerful guy. You can't tackle him. One guy cannot get him down. He'll catch it off your shoulder like he did with Lathan Ransom, the safety from Ohio State. Like I said, he came through. He threw passes this year. Then throwing passes. H-back, through tight end. He can do so many things as that versatile chess piece. That's why I thought he may have been a New York Jet. They pass on Bowers, now they pass on Warren for the O-lineman, and that allows a guy like Tyler Warren. After Loveland went a little earlier, Tyler Warren goes to the Colts, and a major need for them was tight end.
When you sit and you talk to this young man, Greeny, you just kind of go, this dude is just a flat-out football player. He's a flat-out athlete. He was a three-sport player in high school. He played baseball. He played basketball. You see some of his basketball highlights. They're ridiculous. They're throwing alley-oops and stuff. So he's going up and getting the ball like this over top of people's heads. We got to talk to him a couple times this past year, man, and and then on top of it, he's so smart. The ways in which they use him, I mean, in Indianapolis, Shane Steichen's going to be like, hey, look, man, we can put this guy just about anywhere because he's just so smart, has so much mental horsepower, is so versatile. You're right. I mean, he fell right to him. And how cool is that if you're the Indianapolis Colts right now? You got maybe the best player at the position, and he fell right to you. You didn't have to do a thing.
This is just a listing of all the different places that he lined up over the course of his college career. By the way, the last time the Colts took a first-round tight end worked out pretty well. It was Dallas Clark, who was an all-pro. And again, the celebrations are on in the hometowns tonight. Mechanicsville, Virginia, is where Tyler Warren is from. And as they were celebrating in his home in Glen Allen, they were also celebrating at his high school. Congratulations, guys. You produced a first-round pick in the NFL draft. We'll be back in Green Bay in just a moment.
You're watching the 2025 NFL Draft, presented by Courtyard by Marriott.
Hey, Aunt May. Thanks so much for hosting, sweetie. I hear you found someone special.
Yeah, he's a keeper.
Is that dog food in the fridge?
It's not dog food. It's fresh pet. Real meat, real veggies for Peter.
That's Peter? Should have known.
You do make a pretty cute couple.
In this game, making the right move is hard. Unless you use Open Door to sell your home, then it's pretty easy.
Ashton! I need the bathroom.
Almost done, Mom. Open Door, here for life's big moves.
From the #1 rated brand in cordless outdoor power, the Ego 22-inch aluminum deck mower with Select Cut is the most powerful mower in its class, featuring an aluminum deck that allows for extreme blade speeds, producing the perfect razor-sharp cut. Designed for durability that's guaranteed for life. All powered by Ego's patented 56-volt arc lithium battery. One battery powers all tools. Find an Ego retailer near you.
If you keep making that face, it's going to stay like that.
I'm trying to get my own car insurance.
USAA. Grandpa was in the military. He shared membership with your mom so she could share with you. Easy.
USAA. Check if you're eligible today.
Bounty Mega Roll lasts longer, so you can tackle
applesauce and avocado, berries, butter, coffee cream, crispy fingers, deviled eggs, and empanadas, red and green.
Bounty Mega Roll lets you clean spills without running out.
And mommy's glass of Zinfandel.
Bounty, the quicker picker-upper.
Check out the new whip. Tight, fully custom.
How many Bud Lights can you fit in that puppy?
As many Bud Lights as it takes.
A lot of Bud Lights. You'll have to give me one of those.
We're here at Blackberry Friday, where everyone wants the unique taste of new Dr. Pepper Blackberry.
Oh, Dr. Pepper!
The sweet blackberry flavor.
Please remain bold and sweet. Try new Dr. Pepper Blackberry.
The
clock is ticking, Ethan. And now the fate of every soul on earth is your responsibility.
I need you to trust me one last time.
$5 duo at BK. Step up to the plate and have it your way. Get two of your faves, it's up to you. Just figure it out, then hit the drive-thru. BK, have it your way.
Welcome back to Green Bay. The Atlanta Falcons on the clock with the 15th pick. Mel, let's look at your best available players, brought to you by Courtyard by Marriott.
As Shedeur Sanders, and this is looking like Aaron Rodgers. Could be like Boomer Esiason back in 1984, slid to the second round. Think about Brett Favre as well. Geno Smith. This has happened before. Guess what? All those quarterbacks turned out to be pretty doggone good. So for Shedeur Sanders, the key right now is 21 Pittsburgh. He gets past Pittsburgh. Who maneuvers to go get Shedeur Sanders, or they wait until he falls in their lap, right? That'll be interesting because guess what? He will come back to haunt some of these organizations and pass on them. Count on that.
The ESPN Draft Day predictor surprised, perhaps, that Shedeur Sanders hasn't been drafted yet, but not stunned. Maybe the bigger surprise is that Jalen Walker is still on the board. Jalen Walker had, according to our predictions, less than a 1% chance still to be available here at the 15th selection. The Atlanta Falcons are a team that certainly could use defensive help. Would that be a pick that makes sense here?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, let's go back to Mel's graphic for a moment here if we can. We talk about quarterback sliding, and these have been some of those that you were talking about.
Yeah, this is based on my grades and all the mocks and everything I was doing then. Who was the surprise? You see Geno Smith all the way into the second round. Jimmy Clausen, bust, second round, right? Brady Quinn, two Notre Dame quarterbacks, disappointment. Look at all the hits. Aaron Rodgers, Geno, Chad Pennington dropped to 18. He was expected to go a lot higher. Brett Favre, second round. Boomer Esiason. Bengals had 3 first-round picks, didn't take Boomer. He went in the second round. Look how that turned out. Dan Marino dropped to the end of the first round. Cal Davis and Ken O'Brien went ahead of him. So it worked out really good for 6 of the 8 quarterbacks that slid from where they were ranked. We're waiting on Will Levis. I know everybody's, Will Levis should be on that list. He's got more than 2 years, guys, okay? I'll wait on Will. Maybe Will is one on that list. He will be. We'll see how it works out. But 6 of the 8 that slid, yeah, I think Shedeur Sanders will as well.
Look, it's always important to the players when they go because you want to get drafted as high as possible because there's some satisfaction that comes with that. But where you go ultimately is what matters even more. And he just needs to get to the right place now.
And what we're showing here is a look at the uniqueness of Lambeau Field and Green Bay. This is just across the street. These are just people in their home celebrating and enjoying themselves here in the shadow of Lambeau Field. It's one of the things that makes this place so extraordinarily special. Lambeau Field, which will this season be hosting the 69th consecutive season of Packers football, making it the longest continuously used stadium in the National Football League. So a special place to hold this extraordinary event. So the Atlanta Falcons, again, a team that has struggled on defense, struggled for pass rush. One of the few teams that has used all of its allotted time so far to give us all an opportunity to catch our breath. But I'm told that Roger Goodell has the pick in hand and is making his way to the stage now. So the Falcons will announce their selection here. It will be Atlanta, then the Arizona Cardinals on the clock after them, then Cincinnati, Seattle, Tampa Bay, and Denver rounding out the top 20. Here's the commissioner with the Falcons selection.
With the 15th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Atlanta Falcons select Jalen Walker, defensive end, Georgia.
Well, there he is. That's a name we expected to hear earlier. He won the Butkus Award last year as the nation's best linebacker, 61 tackles and 6.5 sacks for the Bulldogs as they won the SEC. He was a 5-star and a Gatorade Player of the Year coming out of high school in North Carolina.
Carolina took Tedero McMillan, didn't take Jalen Walker. That allows him to slide down here. Jalen Walker led the Georgia Bulldogs in tackles for loss with 10.5 and sacks with 6.5. He was off ball as well, getting after it. He was coming off that edge, and what does Atlanta need? They need an edge rusher. For Jalen Walker, this guy is heavy hands. He jolts that opponent back. He's quick to trigger as an off-ball linebacker, physical, taking on blocks. This kid, number 11, in every game Georgia played this year, guys, top.
interesting, Mel. He's an off-the-ball linebacker, but the best thing that he does is rush on the edge. Very, very similar to a linebacker that plays for the Cowboys named Michael Parsons. His ability to line up at multiple positions and wreak havoc on the quarterback. He can play off the ball, he can play on the ball, but he was absolutely dynamite coming off the edge. Just ask the Texas Longhorns. They could not do anything with him. You're going to block him with a tight end, a guard, a tackle. It does not matter. Heavy hand, and at an undersized rusher, Lewis, to me, he reminds me of James Harrison. I'm not concerned about that he's only 6'1". We saw James Harrison at 6'1", play outside linebacker for the Steelers and dominate. Coming off the edge, rushing against offensive tackles. I think Jalen Walker can do the exact same thing at the same height.
Yeah, look, James Walker's a freak now at 5'11", 250 or whatever he was.
Yeah.
You know how good he is.
Yeah, exactly.
Look, Jalen's interesting because it's not a whole lot of technique involved with him. He just plays so hard, and he's so explosive that you can see through his core with his hand, and he never gives up. Effort sacks are something that they're not effort sacks to him. They're just normal. That's just the way he plays. It'll be interesting to see what Raheem Morris does with him and where he plays him, because he does play all over the place. 2 points, hand down, off the ball, spy guy. I said in my notes, I said, this guy's going to be a hell of a blitzer. I pity any running back who has to step up in the A-gap and take on this dude. Because I'll tell you, you better have a strong neck, and you better be able to play low, because this dude is coming now, and he comes with a lot of fury. I'm looking forward to see what they do with him in order to get the pass rush they need.
Well, and to that point, if at first you don't succeed, just keep trying and trying again. The Falcons have been trying to fix their pass rush since Vic Beasley. This is another effort for Raheem Morris and this defense trying to fix this pass rush. Hopefully it works for him this time.
Yeah, absolutely. It's interesting that Mike Green is still on the board for Marshall, who is fantastic.
Yes, yes.
This is the first time the Falcons have used a top 15 pick on a defensive player since Vic Beasley in 2015. And we'll continue from Green Bay in 30 seconds after this word from Thrivent.
For some of us, personal finances aren't just personal. We use money as a tool to help all the people we hold in our hearts. Loved ones, neighbors, the communities we call home, and the causes we care about. At Thrivent, we help you plan your financial picture with the bigger picture in mind. Because the most important thing isn't what you're planning for, it's who. Thrivent, where money means more.
All right, and so we continue here live from Green Bay, where the Atlanta Falcons have just made Jalen Walker from Georgia the 15th pick in the draft. The Arizona Cardinals are on the clock now. They will select next, and Cincinnati, Seattle, Tampa Bay, and Denver will round out the top 20 picks before we get to Pittsburgh at number 21, and that's the next spot where we might expect to see a quarterback. Mel, how about Arizona and what we should expect from the Cardinals here at 16?
Well, I talked about Calais Campbell going back there, so you look at that defensive tackle, you think about a guy like Shanae Barron or Will Johnson, cornerback there, and being very versatile, and then Matthew Golden, that third receiver, that speed option. Matthew Golden ran 4.29 on the heels of a heck of a year. He was the go-to guy for the Texas Longhorns. I was surprised Pedro McMillan went ahead of Matthew Golden. Matthew Golden, after coming over from the Houston Cougars, was outstanding. You know, he had the 2 drops all year, concentration drops. This kid comes to play. He's a professional playing that wide receiving spot. So they have some really good options set up here. I think we'll see where they go. Because defense, but like I say, Calais Campbell is there. So he mentor a young defensive tackle, or do they go corner, safety like Barron or Will Johnson, or help that wide receiver for Kyler Murray getting Matthew Golden?
Well, that's what I was going to say. And you talk about helping a young quarterback. It doesn't necessarily need to be wide receiver. You can help him with an offensive tackle also to protect him up front. That seems to be the thing for these young quarterbacks. Look what they did in Carolina. They went and got a receiver. Help the young quarterback. Look what they did in Chicago. Went and got him a tight end. You got to help him, whether with some weapons on the outside or protection up front.
Yeah, look, Jonathan Gadden, the head coach down there, former defensive coordinator, basically runs the defense. They just can't rush the passer very well down there. They need some deuce off the edge. They need some deuce on the inside. Look, they went and signed Josh Sweat from free agency. Josh Sweat from the Philadelphia Eagles, who wound up pairing it up in the Super Bowl against Kansas City. And you're right, they still do need wide receivers.
And they drafted one, obviously, last year high in the draft, and Marvin Harrison Jr. had something of an up-and-down season in his first year there with Arizona when their quarterback, Kyler Murray. So the Cardinals pick is in, and the commissioner is making his way to the stage for the announcement of the Cardinals at 16.
With the 16th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Arizona Cardinals select Walter Nolan, defensive tackle, Mississippi.
pros in 2 colleges, first at Texas A&M, then an outstanding season at Ole Miss with 6.5 sacks, where he was a consensus All-American and a finalist for the Outland Trophy.
Yeah, production this year was not the problem. He had as many tackles for loss and sacks just one season as Mason Graham, who we really like, had in 2 seasons combined. So for Walter Nolan, the talent, I like the versatility, guys. You can move him around, and he can be disruptive. And I think the fit, you have Calais Campbell back in Arizona to mentor Walter Nolan. So I think from a standpoint of developing a young player, teaching him right, making him understand what it takes to be a professional football player. This is, I think, what Walter Nolan needs that will benefit him in his career.
And I think the Calais Campbell part is really necessary because Walter Nolan can be as good as he wants to be. He can be dominant, Greeny. He has multiple position versatility, but I'd line him up at 3 techniques because a guy like this has to get vertical, that can hit gaps and get to the quarterback. When you pick a defensive tackle this high, you're expecting impact plays, not just tackles for losses. You want sacks, you want cause fumble. He's the twitchiest defensive tackle in the draft. He's got that, he can get upfield and get around the offensive guard and get to the quarterback. My only problem with it is I didn't see it consistently enough. He was a 5-star. He was the #1 recruit coming out of high school. He's been the guy for a long time. He's worn that burden. So now as he takes it to the next level, can we get the prize out of him? Can we get the sacks? Can we get the production? That's what I want to see.
Yeah, that was the thing. Like, and I hate saying consistency when it comes to players, right? Because not every player does it all the time. You just want to see that the pendulum swings to them being much more on than they're off. Walter, when he's on, when you talk about taking gaps, playing on the offensive side of the line of scrimmage, when they move him on stunts and he's slanting and he's running TTs inside, meaning tackles, but he is disruptive as heck. But then, he'll just disappear and he'll get stuck on blocks and he's not chasing the ball. If he can just smooth that out, they got a heck of a player.
Booger, you said it. ESPN ranked him the #1 recruit in the country coming out of high school in 2022. And now after an outstanding season at Ole Miss, he's an Arizona Cardinal. The celebration is on with the family, the Cincinnati Bengals. Joe Burrow's team on the clock. We'll hear from them after this from Green Bay.
You think you know me? Why I do what I do? From day one, it's always been about them. My mama, my sister, Deandra, Bucky, Shiloh, Shador, and Bossy. The coaches, players, that's family. Every move, every sacrifice, every step along the way. See, the spotlight may follow me, but I pour all that light into them. Because it's never been about me. It's always been about family.
Being Courtyard's official fan ambassador has opened a new world for me. Now I get to hang out with NFL fans all season long. See you on game day.
Did they just hop from a baseball game to a show on Max without leaving DirecTV?
It's like all their apps and channels are connected.
Oh, it's all connected. Shows, movies, sports, cooking shows.
Is she talking to us?
Tell me, how does DirecTV put all your favorite stuff on one home screen? Uncanny content suggestions based on your watch history? Or mind control?
Were you recently electrocuted?
A better way to watch whatever you want to watch.
Well, I, for one, am intrigued.
Looking for a reason to try the $5 meal deal with new McValue? Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, and the price makes 5.
So much.
Get more than you expect with the $5 meal deal with new McValue.
Lowe's knows it's easier to make the right calls when you have the right team. Dak going for it, and he fumbles. Brilliant recovery with the Lowe's app. He always delivers. And so does the Lowe's app. In-store, online, our Lowe's team has you covered.
Death is coming for us because we were never supposed to exist.
If you can see how all of this fits together, we might have a chance.
Final destination, Bloodlines, May 16th, rated R.
Turn the off-season on again with the NFL app, your home for all things NFL. Get the news, the highlights, and more access with a subscription to NFL Plus for the picks, the moves, the plays, all in one place.
all year long. Welcome home.
The Copa del Rey final and El Clasico on ESPN+.
Copa del Rey final up for grabs.
A throne to claim.
Brilliant effort, exciting game.
Legacies to defend.
And there's the goal they were looking for.
History to be made.
And then Mbappe's through here with the jump. What a classy finish for Real Madrid.
When kings collide, the world watches.
And that is it. Game, set, match.
The Copa del Rey final, exclusively on ESPN Plus and ESPN Deportes.
Welcome back to the 2025 NFL Draft, presented by Courtyard by
Welcome
Marriott.
back to the 2025 draft in Green Bay, Wisconsin, where we are now on pick 17. The Cincinnati Bengals, a team that lost Sam Hubbard, a defensive end, to retirement offseason. They're still talking to Trey Hendrickson about a new contract, but the two sides still have not gotten close to a deal. So in the interim, the Bengals are expected to look at the spot for more pass rush help. All right, Shefty, thank you. And that Bengals pick is in. They have the three big players to deal with during this offseason, and thus far, Hendrickson is the one they have not. They've taken care of the two wide receivers. So the offense looking good. The defense, major questions. Here's the commissioner to announce the 17th pick as we begin the second half of the first round of this draft. The commissioner enjoying the musical performance. And here's the selection.
With the 17th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Cincinnati Bengals select Shamar Stewart, defensive end, Texas A&M.
All right, so he was a top 10 national recruit coming out of Miami. And does he ever look the part? The athleticism off the charts. But, Mel, we've talked about it throughout this draft process. Just 4.5 sacks in 3 seasons at College Station. So it's a difference between the traits and the production.
Problem is, Greeny, some AOGs block the LTP. That's AOGs, another occupation guy, right? The guys will not be playing professional football, neutralized and handled Shamar Stewart. 1.5 sacks the last 3 years. That's 4.5 for his career. The last 7 games of the year, 3 successive seasons, he didn't record a sack. This against college offensive linemen. Now, if you want to say, boy, beat Danielle Hunter, could he? Danielle Hunter had 4.5 career sacks, 1.5 his last year at LSU. He's got 99.5 sacks. He averages 11 sacks a year in the NFL. But that's an outlier, right? Will Shamar Stewart, who we know about an LTP or looks the part, 6'5", 267, 4'5", 40, 160, 10, 34 1/8 arms, and a 40 vertical. Are you kidding me? He should be getting double-digit sacks, Bug. What's the problem?
Mel, here's the thing I'll tell you. I'd rather drive a Mercedes than a pickup truck because I like to drive fast. At least I know I can go fast in the Mercedes. And it's up to the defensive line coach to get the best out of him because you can take this young man with the traits that he has and his speed. He has the potential to be a double-digit sack guy in the National Football League. A lot of disruption, not a lot of production, but the tools are there. Mike Tomlin has a saying, if the guys didn't need coaching, I wouldn't have a job. He needs coaching. He needs to understand his pass rush move and how to finish at the quarterback. That's what the NFL is about. I love this pick for the Cincinnati Bengals, and I just wonder how this is going to impact Trey Hendrickson and what they do with him.
You know what? They need somebody like Trey Hendrickson around to show this young man how to rush the passer, right? Think of some of the players that you played with. When you have other guys who you can sit and watch. Look, it's not just going to be on their new defensive coordinator, Al Golden. He can't just be the one who's going to teach this young man how to pass rush. There's got to be people in the locker room that are going to help him as well. He plays hard as hell. I mean, hard. They move him from a 9 technique outside the tackle. They'll put him over the nose, and he can collapse the pocket, but he just doesn't have a plan.
Verizon Business takes us back to the stage. Molly is with Shamar. Molly.
Thanks, Greeny. Shamar, scouts and GMs all rave about your physical gifts. You have a longer wingspan than LeBron James. How were you built to play in this league?
Man, I'm built for it. I'm made for it. I'm a hard body. I'm made from this. I'm ready.
The Bengals' new defensive coordinator, Al Golden, known for his aggressive style. How can he bring out the best in you?
Man, just tell me going straight line. I'll figure everything else out.
All right, well, Lamar Jackson and Joe Burrow's jobs just got a little bit harder in the AFC North. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Greeny.
Molly, thank you very much. Shamar Stewart, again, the magnificent physical talent The production that hasn't always lined up to it, but a player we did expect to hear his name early tonight. Mike Green still on the board. A lot of pass rushers in this draft. It was interesting to see in which order they would fall, and now they are starting to do just that. The Seattle Seahawks are on the clock, followed by Tampa and Denver, and we'll be back in 15 seconds after this word from Thrivent.
With Thrivent, your personal finances aren't just personal. We use money as a tool to help all the people we hold in our hearts. Because the most important thing isn't what you're planning for, it's who. Thrivent, where money means more.
All right, we are back in Green Bay. The Seattle Seahawks are on the clock, and an interesting offseason for Seattle.
About a lot about the interior of the offensive line, and Tyler Booker is gone, and there's other guys that are available. And I think we talked about versatility, Boog and Lou, and that's where Gray Zabel, North Dakota State. I know there's some teams in the late first round were hoping he would slide through the cracks, but the versatility to play every position on the offensive line, practice at center at the Senior Bowl. Gray Zabel, I know he could have gone anywhere he wanted. He stayed at North Dakota State, loyal to that program, and he can play anywhere on that line, but he could be a Pro Bowl guard at the pro level.
Especially if they feel really good about their two tackles, those young tackles they've taken in the draft, Charles Cross and Abraham Luke. If they feel really good about those tackles, then I agree with Mel. Attacking the interior of the line is the way to go.
A quick note as we await the commissioner, there's been one trade so far. The fewest in any first round in the common draft era is 3. We'll see if those start, but here's the commission.
With the 18th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Seattle Seahawks select Gray Zabel, guard, North Dakota State.
So there he is, Mel. There's your guy. You just mentioned it. He had NIL offers to leave North Dakota State, but stayed in part so he could play with his brother. And as a result, he won his second FCS championship last year, got invited to the Senior Bowl. He was great there. This, by the way, is the 4th year in the last 5 the Bison have had an offensive lineman selected in the draft.
Yeah, you look at it, he started the first 3 games at left guard in 2023, moved to right tackle for the rest of that season. This past year, he's at left tackle for North Dakota State. He's getting the job done again, getting it done there. Started the final 36 games of his career. 41 overall at left tackle, left guard, and right guard as they practice at center at the Senior Bowl in Lewis. The technique and a fiery approach. He's got a defensive mentality. Gray Zabel, I know down in Mobile, impressed a lot of offensive line coaches.
No doubt, especially with his play on the interior, center, and guard. You go back to 23, as you mentioned, and you watch him there where he started those games at left guard. He looked like a Pro Bowler. He looked like a guy who's going to be all rookie immediately, and he's going to challenge for a Pro Bowl spot. The arm length does show up in tackle for him. He doesn't have that kind of physical range to deal with some of the pass rushers he would deal with in the NFL. But at guard, he's plug and play.
So he's headed to Seattle. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers will be next. Congratulations to Gray Zabel and his family. Again, the Bucs are on the clock, then the Broncos, then the Steelers. When will we have our next quarterback selected? We'll find out shortly. We're live in Green Bay. We're back in a moment on ESPN.
Cleaning your dog's teeth can be hard. But not with Greenie's dental treats. Greenies, make health a treat.
Also, try Greenie's dog food and toppers.
trusted you. I trusted you. I trusted you. I trusted you.
This is a meal. Melty, cheesy, flaky, toasty. Lunch just got croissant-tastic. Try the new croissant toast sandwiches. It just meals good at Panera.
Chime exists to help everyday Americans make it. When you build your credit to build yourself up, when payday comes on your terms, when your girl math starts mathing, oh yeah, you're making it. Success doesn't happen overnight, but as you progress, you start to feel it. See, when you're going after something bigger, hustling for something better, baby, you're making it.
Graduates, today you enter the real world, ready for whatever lies ahead, except for the following, which you are likely to find exceedingly difficult. Going to a 9-to-5 job, doing your taxes, putting on a duvet cover, taking off a duvet cover, realizing you're never gonna go to the gym. This guy knows what I'm talking about. In summary, life is hard, but saving money by bundling your home and auto with Progressive is easy. Oh yeah, deciding what's for dinner every night for the rest of your life.
With the first selection in the 2005 NFL Draft, the San Francisco 49ers select Alex Smith.
Forget franchise. Aaron Rodgers will be solid. How far he drops is going to be the storyline of the day.
The Miami Dolphins select Ronnie Brown, Carnell Williams, Antrell Roll.
And a week and a half ago, looked like Aaron was going to be the guy. I like Aaron Rodgers a lot, and somebody's going to get themselves a heck of a steal.
With the 24th selection in the 2005 NFL Draft, the Green Bay Packers select Aaron Rodgers.
We're back in Green Bay. Time now for a draft moment brought to you by Ego. So what were the possibilities that we would have Shedeur Sanders still on the board available as we arrive at the 19th pick, which is where we are now? Well, as you can see, it was about 50-50. He would be there at 13. The percentages continue to drop, and we were a few picks away from the Steelers at 21. Adam Schefter, what can you tell us?
Well, Greeny, we're not going to see Shedeur picked at 19 or 20. The Buccaneers are sticking at 19. The Broncos are sticking at number 20, and that would bring us to the Pittsburgh Steelers at 21. That is the pick that a lot of people have wondered whether the team would take it. He's got some support within the organization. Mike Tomlin is a fan of Shedeur Sanders. Offensive coordinator Arthur Smith is a fan of Shedeur Sanders. But the Steelers also need help at defensive tackle, wide receiver, running back, some other positions. And if they don't take him, there's a real possibility Shedeur Sanders still could be on the board Friday night.
All right, Chef D, and there you saw Shedeur with his legendary father and longtime coach, Deion Sanders, been his coach all through his life. But the Buccaneers are on the clock right now, and here comes the commissioner with the 19th selection.
With the 19th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers select Emeka Egbuka, wide receiver, Ohio State.
That's a little bit of a surprise, a terrific player. We thought they might go defense, but if you think of all the great pass catchers Ohio State has sent to the NFL, even in the last handful of years, consider Emeka Egbuka is the school's all-time leading receiver, Mel. 205 catches over 4 seasons.
Yeah, the only thing really slowed Emeka Egbuka down was that left ankle injury in 2023. Missed 3 games mid-season, came back at 41 catches. The year prior to that, he had 74 catches for 15.6 average and 10 touchdowns. This past year, 81 catches, 12.5 average, and 10 touchdowns. I've called him a professional receiver. You know what you're getting with Emeka Egbuka, Lou. Once he ran that 4.47 40, that solidified him as a late first, maybe even a mid-first, but Emeka Egbuka running under 4.5 with the kind of production and versatility and the approach, that workmanlike business professional approach is how he became a first-round draft choice.
Think about where Emeka plays primarily, right in the slot. The guys can also win outside, real tough inside, make contested catches, threaten the middle of the field. Who does that for Tampa Bay? Chris Godwin. Chris Godwin coming off of a very, very significant injury. This makes you wonder. They must be concerned a little bit about what's going on with Chris Godwin and maybe his availability, who knows, for 2025, because this is not for certain. Mike Evans getting a little bit older. This is a little bit of a curveball of a pick. But when you start trying to think about why this may have happened, you gotta have to start like following the breadcrumbs.
It also makes you wonder if you're Tampa, who's going to rush the passer? Greeny, you said we were thinking defense.
Yes.
They need an edge rusher. They signed Hassan Reddick on a one-year deal. They need more shoes coming off the edge in this Todd Bowles defense.
Well, Booger, you live in Tampa. You've been telling me all along they were going to go defense.
Everyone told me they were going to go defense, and then they didn't.
But again, this is not in any way a reflection on Emeka Egbuka, who was a terrific player there. You see Todd Bowles, the coach of the Buccaneers. So the Denver Broncos are on the clock, and then the Steelers will pick next. It's been an intriguing night, and it's about to get all the more interesting. We're back in Green Bay in just a moment.
The 2025 NFL Draft, presented by Courtyard by Marriott, is brought to you by Progressive. Protect your auto, home, and business today at progressive.com.
Mine was earned in Germany, 1984.
I earned it for my family in 1945.
Mom earned it for us.
USAA membership is for those who served and can be shared with their spouses, then kids, and their kids for generations to come. And because our members know USAA's commitment to serving the military community, they're proud to start their family's legacy.
So I'm in, and so is our family.
USAA. See if you can become a member today. Members who switch saved an average of $725 annually on auto insurance.
I was tired of being told no. No to my dreams.
I had no idea if anyone would buy anything.
This is so wild that I actually, from a dream, started a business.
You did.
I know. Is this yours? Yeah, Ma. No way. Yes, way. Well, get in.
There's nothing like that first Mercedes feeling. Experience the feeling yourself at a local Mercedes-Benz dealer.
Really?
Let's start paying attention to breasts when it matters the most. Early detection for breast cancer is a game changer, and why I'm able to be here today. So let's get more women screened than ever before at yourattentionplease.com.
It's a rare thing when someone you've been with for so long finds a way to surprise you. It's like discovering E-Trade's easy-to-use platform now comes with the power of Morgan Stanley.
Mom can speak walrus?
This is Roundup for lawns. This stuff works. This stuff kills weeds down to the root without killing your lawn. This stuff works on dandelions, crabgrass, clover. This stuff works for up to 3 months. This stuff works guaranteed or your money back. This stuff works on big lawns, small lawns, and I guess you can call that a lawns. This stuff works without killing your lawn. This stuff works without killing your weekend. This stuff works for the rookies and the seasoned pros. This stuff works in Knoxville, Bronxville, Rockville, Marysville. This is Roundup for lawns. This stuff works.
This is Formula One. It's lights out and away we go.
The season continues in Miami, Sunday, May 4th on ABC, the exclusive home of F1.
Welcome back to Green Bay. The Denver Broncos are on the clock at number 20, and right now it's time for a look at Mel's Best Available, brought to you by Courtyard by Marriott.
Yeah, he got some good ones. Shador, I'm amazed right now that he's still on the board, as I was with Aaron Rodgers. New Orleans, hey, I'm going to wait and see who makes a move to get Shador Sanders before I start talking about those organizations that will haunt them. Will Johnson, we talked about the injury. That is affected where he went. Good corner. Had he been healthy through the process, would have been a top 10 to 15 pick. I love Amari and Hampton for Denver. I've said it for 3 months. They need a running back who's complete. He is to help out Bo Nix. Josh Simmons was the best tackle until he got hurt in October in that game against Oregon. That's why he's still available. Right tackle, left tackle could play guard as well. And I'm surprised Matthew Golden. Once he ran 4.29 on the heels of a great year at Texas, on the heels of 2 really good years at Houston with the Cougars. Matthew Golden did anything and everything at Texas, got open, caught the ball, and then ran great. I'm really surprised Golden's still here at this point in the draft.
Been an interesting night, very strange one in some ways. We had the enormous trade at the very beginning, Jacksonville moving up from 5 to 2, but that has been the only trade we've had so far in round 1. And I'll mention again, the fewest in any first round in the common draft era was 3, and that goes back to 1971 is the most recent time. So we've generally had a lot more than that. The Broncos pick is in, and here comes the commissioner with a special guest to make the selection.
April is World Wish Month, and the NFL is proud to support the life-changing wishes that Make-A-Wish grants. Yes. One of those wishes will be coming true right now. Sam is a 17-year-old Broncos fan who has bravely battled cancer. There you go, Sam. Raise that fist up, baby. His wish is to announce the first-round draft pick for his favorite team. Please join me in cheering on Sam as his wish comes true. Take it away, Sam.
Let's go, Broncos. Give it to him, baby. All right. With the 20th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Denver Broncos select Jahdae Barron, DB, Texas.
It's a wonderful moment. Jahdae Barron, a young man, grew up in Austin, much decorated in his final season with the Longhorns. Mel, a consensus All-American, won the Jim Thorpe Award as the best defensive back in the country, had 5 interceptions on the season.
Yeah, 2 Texas Longhorns ran great at the combine and needed to. Matthew Golden, I've been talking about the 4.29. How about Jahdae Barron running a 4.39 when some thought he'd run 4.45 to 4.5 at 5'11", 195 pounds. Plays everywhere in that secondary for Texas. Super smart, can blitz, intercepts passes. I talked about it. Doesn't miss many tackles at all. He had 67 tackles, 5 interceptions, 11 pass breakups this past year. Jahdae Barron did. Short tackler, instinctive, versatile guy. He can play anywhere in the deep patrol.
Yeah, this is another guy that Steve Sarkisian, the head coach of Texas, just raved about. He raves about Barron because of the fact that he's a great locker room guy. He's a guy who can fit in with everyone. He's kind of a spokesman for a team. He kind of settles everyone down. And as far as on the football field, you're right. He's super versatile. Can play inside and outside. Has great instincts, great vision, route development and understanding, and the willingness to come up and hit, play strong at the catch point. That's what Vance Joseph's going to want out there in Denver, where they play some pretty good defense. Him and Patrick Surtain II, that's a pretty good group of corners right now when you're talking about the Denver Broncos.
And as you start to look at it, he's a faster version of what Brian Branch does for the Detroit Lions. A multiple position player that can play inside, outside, that can play in the middle of the field. He can do it all, kind of a joker on defense. He will be used very well in Denver.
Yeah.
All right, and so now we get to the Steelers at 21, and this is a spot that obviously we have had circled for quite some time. Adam Schefter, what can you tell us?
Well, Greeny, one of the most intriguing spots in the draft. Shador Sanders is still on the board right now. The Pittsburgh Steelers still are awaiting an answer from Aaron Rodgers. One person in the league said today they wondered how that combination, Aaron Rodgers and Shador Sanders, could go along if the Steelers went that route. But there are no assurances that Pittsburgh is going to go that route at number 21 when they have other needs as well. This will be an organizational decision. If they take Shador, he has a new home. If they don't, then we have entered into a really intriguing part of the draft where Shador Sanders and Jackson Dart are alive. And interestingly, the belief around the league is that the Saints and the Giants both really like Jackson Dart.
So, Shefty, there's an irony in all of this, Mel, because you keep making the comparisons to Aaron Rodgers and the way that he slid through the draft, and now perhaps Rodgers playing some role in Pittsburgh's decision as they make this pick here at 21. But we're waiting to see if this is the spot. Shedeur Sanders will finally hear his name called.
Steelers have no second-round pick. That went to Seattle for DK Metcalf. So they're sitting here with a pick. We talked about Derek Harmon. Derek Harmon, defensive tackle out of Oregon, could be mentored by Cam Hayward. Cam Hayward can't play great forever, right? He's a Hall of Famer, but he's nearing, he's got probably with 2 more years, maybe 3. So you bring in maybe Derek Harmon. How do you feel about Shedeur at 21? Have him at 5. This organization has not had won a playoff game in 9 years. They haven't had any losing seasons in a long time, but 21, they haven't won a playoff game in 9 years. In this division, with Burrow and Lamar and the AFC loaded with great quarterbacks, and you have Mason Rudolph, and there's Shedeur sitting there, and you have no second-round pick. Where's the young quarterback coming in? But I'm taking Shedeur Sanders. I prefer him in New Orleans. I don't know what the Saints were thinking there. That's their decision. I disagree with it. But if I'm Pittsburgh, Shedeur Sanders, the pass on him at this stage at pick 21, Boog, come on.
All right, I'm told that the pick is in. The commissioner is making his way to the stage. Will this be the moment that we hear the second quarterback's name, or will the drop continue? Here comes Roger Goodell with the announcement.
With the 21st pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Pittsburgh Steelers select Derek Harmon, defensive tackle, Oregon.
You can hear the roar in this crowd. That is the surprise of many, and it is echoed on this stage. Let's talk about Derek Harmon. The young man can rush the passer from the interior of that D-line. Led all defensive tackles and quarterback pressures with 34. Mel, he was fabulous at the combine. He's from Detroit. Started his career at Michigan State, had 1 season at Oregon.
He had a really good season because he did something at Oregon that he didn't do at Michigan State, was compete and can be consistent on a game-to-game basis. He really, this year, took his game from a competitive standpoint to a new level. I know that Michigan State kept waiting for it to really hit home and really develop into that kind of player that his talent indicated he could be. And this year, he did it. He was disruptive. He got in the backfield. He hit Quinshon Judkins in that game on October 12th, caused that fumble when Ohio State had all the momentum. You watch him, guys, he can get into the backfield. Plays a little high, but he is a guy can learn from Cam Hayward. Talk about that. Will they weigh that position, that need, and having a guy that can be maybe the heir apparent to Cam Hayward against the quarterback, Shedeur Sanders? They opted for Derek Harmon because they love the fact he could be the next guy to take over for Cam Hayward.
Well, no doubt. You talk about Cam Hayward getting a little longer than 2. This is something that Pittsburgh doesn't have, which is interior pass rush. You mentioned he led all defensive tackles as far as pass rush pressures from the inside. And when you look at Keanu Bitten, who they took out of Wisconsin, he's played well, but getting to the passer hasn't been his forte. This is an opportunity to fortify the defensive front. Again, pass on the quarterback, fortify the defensive front with T.J. Watt. I like what the Steelers are doing. You just wonder, without Aaron Rodgers, who's going to play quarterback position for them?
That's a great question. We don't know right now.
No one knows.
Guess it'll be Mason Rudolph.
One wonders if they know. By the way, the Steelers' last first-round defensive lineman was Cam Hayward, whom they selected 31st in 2011. So there's the celebration in the Steeler draft room. The question is, when will the next quarterback come off the board? Come on back and find out. The Chargers are on the clock. We're back in Green Bay in just a moment.
Being Courtyard's official ambassador has opened a new world for me. Now I get to hang out with NFL fans all season long.
Wait, what?
Yeah. See you on game day.
This is the mark of a fighter. A rich, full-flavored lager with a crisp, refreshing taste. A reward for those with a fighting spirit. You've earned this, so hold it up high. Modelo, the mark of a fighter.
Order a 10-piece McNuggets meal with spicy nether flame sauce. And unlock epic add-ons in Minecraft. Only when you order on the McDonald's app. Let's build.
Gatorade, the world's most superior sports drink. Designed to rehydrate, replenish, and refuel. It fuels the best because it is the best. Gatorade. Is it in you?
Eric Henry.
Hey, Jake the State Farm. I saved so much bundling, it inspired my workout. Auto! Home!
Okay. And this is auto again, right?
Auto!
Hey, this is my living room.
Oh!
Bundling, just another way to save with the personal price plan.
The dog isn't allowed on the couch, Derek.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
From the #1 rated brand in cordless outdoor power, the Ego 22-inch aluminum deck mower, the most powerful mower in its class, producing the perfect razor-sharp cut. Find an Ego retailer near you.
$6 never tasted so good. IHOP's Breakfast Faves combo is now just $6, featuring IHOP's world-famous buttermilk pancakes, crispy hickory smoked bacon, and 2 eggs cooked to order your way. All for just $6, part of the new $6 House Faves menu.
Verizon Small Business Days are back. Our experts?
Welcome in.
Closer than you think. Serving up deals, advice, and more.
Hey. Hi.
April 21st to 27th.
Let's take a look.
Get started today.
Lowe's knows it's easier to make the right calls when you have the right team. McCaffrey looking lost.
Hey, I'm looking for a one. I'm looking for a one. Could you point me aisle 27?
Find what you need faster with the Lowe's app.
Welcome back to Green Bay. Now, time for another look at your best available players, brought to you by Courtyard by Marriott.
Yeah, it'll be interesting with Shedeur because I got a list of some guys who were great in the NFL, but they were old school pocket passers, and where they slid, how the NFL didn't really regard them highly coming out of college. That's a long list of names, and quarterbacks went on to be outstanding in the National Football League. Will Johnson, as the injury affected him, pushed him down. Marion had the surprise. Denver didn't take one. Denver opted to go a different direction, and Denver took Shadee Barron, the cornerback safety from Texas. All of a sudden, Hampton could drop a little bit. His running back's not a big need. Please need here. Josh Simmons would have been a top 5, top 10 pick had not been for an injury. Medically, he should be ready to go for training camp. There's Matthew Golden. He would fit what the Chargers are looking for as well. Who catches the football, has great speed with that 14-9. The Chargers needs right now interior offensive line, wide receiver, tight end, and they could not stop the run. 27th in per carry average allowed legs.
There isn't any question, however, this has become now the story of the night. Shedeur Sanders, according to our draft day predictor, there was a 96% chance that he would be selected in the first 21 picks entering this draft, 21 being the operative number with the Steelers. So we are now in that zone where we wait to see if any team chooses to trade up from the second round to make the aggressive move.
We always act like we're in the 6th round of the draft right now, which Shedeur Sanders hasn't been picked. No. And we're still where Lamar Jackson wasn't taken. And last time I checked, the Baltimore Ravens took Hayden Hurst, a 25-year-old tight end at the time out of South Carolina, tight end. And then they traded back into 32 to take Lamar Jackson. We're ready to pack it up at the end of day 1 and get ready for day 2, right? There's Lamar Jackson. That list of the pocket pass. Johnny Unitas, cut by the Steelers, passed over, right? Nobody wanted it. Dan Marino passed over for Cal Davis and Ken O'Brien, right? Joe Montana went in the 3rd round. Kurt Warner, undrafted free agent. Peyton Manning, people have to look like Ryan Leaf over him, but still Napoleon to take him number 1 overall. Matt Ryan, Jake Long went ahead of Matt Ryan. They took him so far, something for Chad Henne over Matt Ryan. Pocket guy, how'd that work out, right? Drew Brees, 2nd round. Chargers, then Miami didn't take him, goes to New Orleans, right? How'd that work? Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant, Kirk Cousins, 4th round pick. They're all traditional drop back pocket passers. I didn't mention the greatest of all time, Tom Brady, 6th round pick. So just think about that list. The NFL didn't like him back when Johnny Unitas came out of Louisville. They didn't like him now. It gets burned 9 out of 10 times by passing on each side.
You know, I don't know if it's that the NFL doesn't like them. I think the NFL is saying that those quarterbacks, maybe like Shedeur Sanders, they don't do anything special. So we talked about earlier in the show about people getting wild with the off-platform throws and all these different things. Shedeur Sanders plays point guard from the pocket, and maybe they're not valuing that in the first round now.
But you know what, Boog? He does do something special. The first thing that quarterback whispers, guys who we respect the most as far as the offensive quarterback, that the first thing that they talk about when they're talking about what does it take to play quarterback at a high level in the NFL, they don't say wild throws. They don't say great traits. They say exactly what you said in your own highlight. Decision-making.
Yes.
Accuracy. That's what they say. Fedora has made great decisions in the pocket, outside the pocket. When he's getting his head knocked off, he's made great decisions. He throws the football with accuracy. The whole arm strength thing, I mean, come on. Look, how many times? He's a nice passer of the football. It's as simple as that. He just is. What this comes down to, look, I'm going to try and look at this from a team's perspective, right? Every team likes, teams like players. It's just a matter of what price do they want to pay, right? So they figure for him, if we're judging the landscape right here, we don't need to pay top 15 prices, top 20 prices. Heck, we may not even need to pay first-round prices. Does that mean I agree with it?
But they need quarterbacks, though.
You're right.
The most important position.
Hey, they're taking all the teams that are passing on him right now, as Mel just mentioned, are taking a gamble. They're taking a gamble. The teams who need a quarterback, and if you pass on him and he winds up having a Drew Brees type of career, a Tom Brady type of career, which he's totally capable of. You're going to sit back and teams there's going to be a lot of revisionist history on him. I get that. There's going to be a lot of case studies done on why did people pass on him? Was it because they thought he was cocky? Was it because of his dad? Was it because he was too brash? All the other nonsense that you hear. Because it isn't because of how he plays the game. I agree with you. It's not how he plays the game.
All right, we have only had one quarterback selected. We have only had one trade made. If Shedeur Sanders was going to get drafted here, it would have to be a trade because Justin Herbert is going to be the quarterback of the Los Angeles Chargers. So I said that facetiously. Obviously, this isn't going to be the spot. So the Chargers are on the clock here. Then we will have the hometown Green Bay Packers. So no doubt we'll get a jolt from this crowd. You see Jim Harbaugh's team has made its selection. Here's Roger Goodell.
With the 22nd pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Los Angeles Chargers select Omarion Hampton, running back, North Carolina.
Mel, a player you love, back-to-back monster seasons for the Tar Heels, over 1,500 yards in 2023, over 1,600 last year, 30 touchdowns on the ground, and he added 67 catches as well.
Yeah, just turned 22 on March 16th. I thought he'd be a Denver Bronco, and he goes to the division. Now he can haunt the Broncos a little bit, right? With the Chargers. Jim Harbaugh wants to run the football. Obviously, you got to stop the run, something they couldn't do last year as well. They want to run the football. Omarion Hampton at 220-plus pounds, ran 4.46. Talk about a guy at 622 carries his career at the 128 fewer than Ashton Jeanty. So a lot of tread left on those tires. I know that contact and being able to go run through contact, he will do that. Excels at picking up yards and breaking tackles after that contact with the leg drive, the determination, and that breakaway speed he possesses. Very good hands as well. Had a career high 38 receptions, 2 touchdown catches this year. Doesn't have the elusiveness of a Jeanty and the ability there to make people miss on a consistent basis. Pass blocking needs to improve just a bit, but the athleticism and one cut, he can go. Omarion Hampton will hit that hole hard, and he will break tackles. He is a game breaker.
That's Joe Mixon.
120-plus pounds.
That's Joe Mixon right there. That's what it looks like. Joe Mixon wearing the North Carolina uniform.
And you put him in this offense where they want to run the football with Harbaugh coming downhill. This is a perfect fit for Omarion Hampton.
All right, and so as the National Football League is now taken to bringing the draft on the road, we will reach that moment that we look forward to every year. The home team is on the clock, and just listen to these fans in Green Bay. The Go Pack Go chants. Hundreds of thousands of cheeseheads as far as the eye can see. These fans so excited. The people of this terrific city have been so excited to host this event. We have all felt it all week long. There's been no question about it. And so with all the energy here, the Green Bay Packers, part of that incredibly tough division, Mel, in the NFC North. A lot of interesting needs. Will this be the year that Jordan Love takes that step forward? What do the Packers need to do to make that move?
Quarterback's a position in need area. They're always looking for edge rushers. Obviously, adding another wide receiver. They've had great luck in the second round, taking wide receivers, plug and loose. So I look at that quarterback spot. Will Johnson's a guy. You talk about getting a value for a heck of a player. Had he been healthy through the process and not banged up, Will Johnson's a top 10 pick. So when is Will Johnson going to come off the board? We don't know about Shador. Will Johnson's another guy who's projected way up there. We don't know what his 40 speed is. Those questions about his recovery ability, Lou. But as a corner who can anticipate and break on the ball, 9 career receptions, 3 career pick sixes. I'm going to be interested to see how far Will Johnson drops.
Yeah, it's all about how comfortable teams are with the medical of Will Johnson. That's what it's going to be. And there's going to be some questions about it. He's in that area right now where you start going, the teams that need a corner, a guy like this, a guy who, again, Wink Martindale, who coached him up there at Michigan, said, look, this guy has hands, has ball skills like Champ Bailey. The guy can snatch the ball and take the ball out of the air like that. You think the Pack doesn't need that? This comes down to the medical. Simple as that. Are they comfortable? When they project forward how long he's going to wind up, playing in the NFL, what's going to be the risk, all of that, that's what's going to come down to Will Johnson, because it has nothing to do with how this young man plays. He's fantastic.
Especially with what they have going on with Jair Alexander. To me, this has got to be edge or cornerback. You got Mike Green on the table, who led the nation in sacks last year. So edge or corner are at play for Green Bay, I think.
Yeah, an underrated guy we haven't even discussed yet. It's going to go in the late first, early second. It's Donovan Ezra-Rocky.
Yes,
All this kid does is get after the quarterback. He was a sack machine, and he plays hard. Now, he's 247 pounds, so playing the run is going to be a little bit of an issue. But as a pass rusher, pure edge rusher, Donovan Ezra-Rocky was right there with the top guys.
Speaking of edge guys, how about James Pierce?
Yes.
James Pierce is sliding down. James Pierce is a freak now. Like he is.
He ran 4.4 to 80 plus pounds.
The dude can flat out rush. But again, it's about trust. It's about how comfortable are you. But there's no reason James Pierce should be on the board right now. When you watch this tape, there's no reason he should be on the board. But you're getting into that area of the draft, Randy, where teams have some questions, right? And so now you're sitting there going, hey, is the value too good to pass up? Because there are some darn good football players still on the board right now. They're going to play real good football this fall.
As you told me, it's about mitigating risk.
That's right. That's right.
You got to try to mitigate the risk based on the talent that you have, based on what you know. And
that's
To
right.
your point, when you talk about Ezra-Rocky, talk about Mike Green, all those guys are tremendous football players. Which one do you think you can mitigate the risk?
Well, I'll tell you what. As a Raku, there's no risk as far as the person.
Understood.
Right? I mean, there it's just like, does he have ideal measurables? But as far as the team is concerned, we were fortunate enough to cover Boston College a couple of times this year with college football. Ezra Raku is the salt of the earth now. He's a great kid, a great person.
And I'll tell you, 2 other kids as UCLA Bruins. I call them having an entry with the Kentucky Derby coming up for Saturday in May, right?
Yeah.
How about Olufemi Oladejo and Carson Schlesinger? Schlesinger off ball was everywhere making
best
tackles.
Instincts in the draft.
And Oladejo, when they moved them off ball to outside, was getting after the quarterback.
Yeah.
So those are 2 UCLA Bruins going to be really good late 1, early 2.
No question.
So all the speculation here at this desk has been about defense. I've had a lot of Packer fans come up to me this week and say, Greeny, we never take a wide receiver in the first round. But
It's funny you say that.
Matthew Golden is still on the board, Mel.
I've said his name about 5 times already with picks. Matthew Golden to me, people say, well, you had 1 year of production. I thought at Houston, for what they were asking him to do for 2 years, he did a solid job. And then this year was supposed to be Isaiah Bond. It was Matthew Golden. Then Matthew Golden ran a 4.29. I don't know what else the kid needed to do. Yeah, you'd like to see 2 years at Texas, but he only had 1 season, and he did it all, and then he ran great. Matthew Golden here, are you kidding me, in the late first round, when McMillan already went and Abuka already went?
But Steve Sarkisian, look, he's such a great guy to talk to get insight about his players and about why they developed the way they did. And he says it about Matthew Golden. It took him some time when he got him in order to kind of get him comfortable in his offense. And he wound up taking over the role that many people thought was going to be Isaiah Bond. And he said, look, this guy will do it exactly the way you ask him to. The reason why he ran so fast, he said, I promise you, he worked at it. Nobody expected him to run that fast. It's a testament to his work ethic and his football character.
So that reaction you're hearing as the words "the pick is in" just popped up on the screens here, as you can see on your screen as well. So the Packer fans all in attendance waiting to hear who their team will add in this first round tonight. It's been a fascinating first round. Again, we've had only 1 quarterback come off the board. We've had only 1 trade. There have never been fewer than 3 first-round trades. And the last time that we had that few was back in 1971. So the Packers will make their pick here at 23. Their division rivals, the Minnesota Vikings, will be up next at 24, followed by Houston and then the Rams. So we continue to wait for spots where a quarterback may go, and now we're looking here at the Green Bay Packers set to make their pick. So the pick is in. I'm told the commissioner will be making his way to the stage shortly. A Packer team that had some good moments last year, made a playoff run, but played in such a tough, competitive division. The Vikings obviously had that great year, and the Detroit Lions, despite all their defensive injuries, finishing as the number 1 seed in the NFC, falling short in that playoff run as well. So the Packer fans here dancing and singing and waiting to hear where they go. I'm told the commissioner is finally now going to make his way out. And so the pick is ready. And here comes the commissioner with a very special guest who will be very well received here in Green Bay.
Okay, Green Bay, it's your time. To make this historic pick, please give it up for first team All-Pro, Pro Bowler, 2-time Super Bowl champion, and Packers president and CEO, Mark Murphy.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Roger. How about this atmosphere? Isn't it unbelievable? Roger, thank you and the NFL for bringing the draft here to Green Bay for the best draft in the history of the NFL, right here. On behalf of the Packers, Packer fans here in Green Bay, Wisconsin, and everywhere, because our fans are everywhere, it is my pleasure to welcome you all to the NFL Draft at Lambeau Field. It is our honor and privilege to host this wonderful event in our community, particularly since we are the only community-owned team in the NFL. Just out of curiosity, how many of you are owners? Yes. We also have the best owners in the NFL. And we also want to celebrate the special connection we have with our fans that dates back to the early days of professional football. With the 23rd pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the 13-time world champion Green Bay Packers, for the first time since 2002, draft a wide receiver, Matthew Golden, wide receiver, Texas.
For so many reasons, there is no other team in professional sports quite like the Green Bay Packers, and Mark Murphy did a great job of explaining some of those, and so that was the kind of moment you practically cannot get anywhere else in sports. Matthew Golden is going to address the crowd. Let's hear what he says. No, he went to the microphone, but perhaps not. Well, he'll address Molly instead.
It's
Here we
time,
go.
baby. Hey, I'm finna bring that energy, man. I'm glad to be here. It's a blessing. Green Bay on 3. Hey, let me get a Green Bay on 3. 1, 2, 3.
How good is that?
All right, Verizon Business to Molly, who is with the man of the moment. Molly.
Matthew, that was a warm welcome from your new fan base. What is it like to stand here in front of all these Packers fans?
Man, it's a blessing. I put in so much work to get here, and I got my family here, man. It means the most to me, man. I can't thank God enough. I can't thank God enough.
At Texas, you stepped up big when the lights were brightest. How will you do that here in Green Bay?
That's what you should expect from me, man. I'm a reliable target, and, I get open anywhere on the field, man. Whatever the team need me to do, that's what I'm willing to do. But I'm bringing that dog mentality, know that.
All right, welcome home.
Thank you. Thank you.
Guys.
Mel, you mentioned the combine 4.29. That opened a lot of eyes. 58 catches, 9 touchdowns in his one season at Texas.
The 16th ranked player on my big board. Packers getting him at pick number 23. We're talking about this year. 9 games, he averaged 20-plus yards per catch. Here he is with the Houston Cougars. Over a 2-year period, he had 76 catches, averaged 13 yards a catch, and 13 touchdowns at Texas this year. He was outstanding, and he came up big at critical moments in key games. SEC championship game against Georgia, really impressive with 8 catches, 162 yards. Quarterfinal playoff game against Arizona State, 7 catches, 149 yards, and another touchdown. He had 2 to 3 concentration drops. That was it. He's a guy who gets open. He can handle tight coverage. He catches the ball in traffic. He's tough across the middle. He's quick out of his break. He sells the route. And I was impressed with the consistency, game in and game out, to know that he was understated. He was underappreciated all year for what he did for an offense that needed him. And every time they needed a big catch, Matthew Golden got open and made, let's say, 9 games to average over 20 yards a catch. Is pretty impressive.
And I was impressed with his ability to separate. That's what a quarterback wants to see. Separation from the defender, knowing that you can throw the football to him on time and accurately. And when you look at Green Bay, it's often said that Green Bay has a lot of receivers. They got a lot of number 2. Might he be the number 1 that they've covered? When you look at Romeo Dobbs, Jaden Reed, Christian Watson coming off the ACL. So this is a justified pick for the Packers.
All right, so the Minnesota Vikings are on the clock, and we've got Roger Goodell ready to make their pick. For every action, there is an equal opposite reaction. They will be booed as loudly as the Packers were cheered. Here comes Roger Goodell with the selection.
With the 24th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Minnesota Vikings select Donovan Jackson, guard, Ohio State.
All right, and so there's the reaction from the crowd. Versatility is the word that comes to mind. He started 31 games at left guard for the Buckeyes, then kicked out to left tackle and played great. So Donovan Jackson goes to Minnesota, but I'm told to go. Adam Schefter has breaking news for us. Shefty, what can you tell us?
Greeny, we said this would be the quarterback range, and the New York Giants have just traded back into the first round to pick number 25, which belonged to the Houston Texans. In return, they're giving up pick 34, pick number 99, and a third-round pick in 2026. The Giants at 25 are on the clock. Look for a quarterback here.
All right, here we go. So this is exactly what we were waiting for, Mel. The Giants getting their man at the top, Abdul Carter, not taking the quarterback there. If they turn it around and get the quarterback they're looking for here, this could turn out to be a magnificent night for the Giants.
Well, it's been discussed that Brian Daboll likes Jackson Dart, quarterback Ole Miss. They were even talking about number 3, way too high. He's 28, same grade as the 21st player on my board. So he's right in the range for Jackson Dart. I'm still sure, but more mobility Certainly Jackson Dart, he can beat you with his legs. He had 1,500 rushing yards the last 3 years. So if you're looking for traits, Jackson Dart has a few more than Shedeur on paper. I'm a Shedeur guy. Love him. Jackson Dart I like. And I think Brian Daboll says, hey, he's my guy because he can move around and he can, like I say, had those games where he could beat you with his legs, 3rd and 8. He can run for 30 yards. He's an athlete, okay? And he can make the throws. 6'2", 223 pounds, coming out of that RPO offense, Lane Kiffin. So, hey, if he wants somebody who can do more than be a great pocket passer, then Jackson Dart gives you more with his legs than Shedeur does.
And not only that, not only as a pocket passer, if you look at Jackson Dart, throws under pressure, when pressure's in his face, it's outstanding. I mean, he stands in that pocket and makes big-time throws. I agree with you. Shedeur Sanders, the quarterback for me. Brian Daboll seems to be leaning toward Jackson Dart.
The difference for me was Shedeur came through in the clutch. When it mattered the most in games late, he's taking it out of the field. Jackson Dart had some meltdown. That particularly the Florida game, a meltdown late in that loss.
All right, I'm going to take a very short timeout. We're going to come back. The New York Giants are on the clock. Adam Schefter has told us to expect a quarterback. Which one will it be? We will find out right after this, live in Green Bay on ESPN.
Nationwide is so much more than a great insurance company. They're also one of America's largest financial services companies. Like, he's so much more than Saquon Barkley.
I'm also Staycom Barkley.
Oh, man, he struck my uniform. Whoever did...
Calm in. Stress out. I'll never remember all this. Relax, Rook. When things get intense, we get incense. What a nice cleansing surprise.
For your insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is on your side.
This Memorial Day.
I don't think you're supposed to drink that.
Summer starts.
No. Dogs on the table.
You sure that's a dog?
Yeah.
Rough. With Stitch.
No. I'm going to give you to the count of 3, Stitch. 1.
Disney's Lilo and Stitch. Only in theaters May 23rd. Rated PG.
Let's talk salary.
Great. What do you typically offer for this role?
It's competitive.
And if it was a number, it would be...
A competitive number.
With Indeed, you can avoid awkward salary conversations from the start.
Whoa, a number.
Is it competitive?
Why do 80% of NFL players choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Because the higher my sleep IQ score, the better I play. But that's not the only reason.
He likes his side firm. I like my side soft.
Sleep Number does that. Effortless comfort all night. So sleeping on a smart bed is why you can play like this?
Yeah, because I also like to sleep cool.
And I like to sleep even cooler.
And I really like it when we both get what we want.
Sleep Number does that. Meet the Sleep Number Climate Cool smart bed. Sleep up to 15 degrees cooler on each side. Visit a Sleep Number store near you.
I bet it feels like best chemistry, strawberry kisses. I bet it feels like this.
Can I come in?
Sure, yeah, come on.
Don't worry. DashPass saves you money on DoorDash, so you can skip the trip to the grocery store and stay right where you need to be. DashPass by DoorDash. Your door to more savings.
A Chewy pharmacy order is on the way for Homer, the homebody who only goes outside when nature calls. So Mom uses Chewy to get his flea and tick meds at a great price, delivered fast, right to their door. For quality meds, for life with pets, there's Chewy.
Craving more football? Experience the game like never before. The access, the action. You see and hear everything.
More of what you love.
The United Football League, Saturday at 7 and Sunday starting at noon on ESPN.
Welcome to the show, the one with unimaginable power and endless entertainment. Phillies, Cubs, big-time talent shines from the friendly confines on Sunday Night Baseball. Sunday at 7 on ESPN.
Welcome back to Green Bay, where we have just had our second trade of the night here in round 1. The New York Giants have just traded up into the Houston Texans spot at number 25. And Adam Schefter has told us it is to draft a quarterback. Will it be to take that man, Shedeur Sanders, the Big 12 Offensive Player of the Year, or that man, Jackson Dart, quarterback at Ole Miss? Opinions have been split between these two. Mel Kiper, you have been on the Shedeur Sanders bandwagon since the beginning of the season. Again, we are waiting. The commissioner can make the announcement right now. The Giants, who picked at number 3 in this draft, taking Abdul Carter, the defensive end out of Penn State. This was how many of the Giants fans definitely hoped the night would go. Get the pass rusher early, find a way to get the quarterback that you want a little bit later in round 1. It appears that's what they have done. So we are awaiting the commissioner on the announcement. Here he comes onto the stage to announce the Giants pick at number 25.
The Houston Texans have traded the 25th pick to the New York Giants. With the 25th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the New York Giants select Jackson Dart, quarterback, Mississippi.
Wow. All right. You know the story. Legendary high school career in Utah, threw for 67 touchdowns. As a senior, he went to USC, started 3 games, then transferred to Ole Miss, started 38 games for Lane Kiffin, threw 72 touchdowns, finished as the school's all-time leading passer, surpassing Eli Manning. Mel, your reaction?
Well, surprised he went ahead of Shedeur, not shocked, because Daboll wants some more mobility. And Jackson Dart can beat a defense with his legs. His completion percentage every year under Lane Kiffin improved. 62%, 65%, culminated with 69% this past year. Touchdowns went 20 to 23, 29 this past year. 11 rushing touchdowns the last 2 years. 1,500 rushing yards the last 3 years at Ole Miss. Now, the concern for me, and the reason I'm the Shedeur guy, is in the big spot. You come up big. For Jackson Dart, 2 games where Ole Miss faced a then-ranked opponent, LSU and Georgia, he completed less than 60% of his passes, and in each game combined for 2 touchdowns and 2 picks. Then they were looking for a playoff spot in late November. He completed less than 60% of his passes with a couple touchdowns and 2 interceptions, and that late meltdown against Florida. So 3 big spots didn't come up big. Shedeur consistently did, despite being a rat. I like Jackson Dart. I love Shedeur. We'll see how it works out. Keep in mind, the quarterbacks that have dropped a little bit, how about the quarterbacks went ahead of them? Brett Favre, Dan McGuire, Todd Marinovich went ahead of Brett Favre. Joe Montana, Jack Thompson, Steve Fuller went ahead of Joe Montana. E.J. Manuel went ahead of Geno Smith, and 3 players were drafted by the Bengals before they took Boomer aside to the second round. So it doesn't always go. The quarterbacks go in the order or the way they work out in the NFL. So for Shedeur, I still believe, I'm going to say it, though I'm proven wrong after this, the New Orleans Saints are the perfect fit because Pittsburgh's weather, right? The Giants are weather, and the division's weather. And for Shedeur, like Drew Brees and Peyton Manning, that dome would help him so much to give him a chance to have the great career that he's certainly capable of.
I think Jackson is very, very well respected down in Oxford. Being a great teammate, he's tough as hell. Another kid who I was fortunate enough to call 3 of his games over the past couple of years. He's got a big arm. He is tough. He can pick up first downs. He can bomb the football. It doesn't always seem to be able to get through progressions as quick as you would like. That's something he's got to work on. That's something he'll have time to work on because Russell Wilson's going to command.
Are you drafting him for the next GM and the next head coach?
We'll see. You know what? Hey, that's a question for John Mara. But I'm happy for the kid.
Let's find out what we can from Sal Palantonio. He is covering the Giants for us tonight. Sal.
Well, Greeny, it's pretty clear that head coach Brian Daboll likes Jackson Dart. Why? Because he has some of the same traits that Josh Allen had in Buffalo. That mobility, the dual threat ability, the big arm to get the ball down the field, the toughness. Those are the traits that Josh Allen showed Brian Daboll in Buffalo. That's why Jackson Dart of Ole Miss is here and will be a New York Giant, Greeny.
All right, and so, Mel, once again, this is a conversation that is going to be continued. These quarterbacks will be compared to each other for a long time. We know it'll happen. Shedeur Sanders will be drafted at some point here, whether it's tonight or tomorrow. The Giants have made this decision, and we will take a look at the history of first-round quarterbacks in New York Giants history. They drafted Phil Simms in 1979 out of Morehead State, won them a Super Bowl. Phillip Rivers, we know, was not a Giant. He wound up being traded just an hour or so after the pick was made for Eli Manning. They took Daniel Jones a few years ago. We saw that not work out as they would have liked. And now Jackson Dart, the 25th pick in this draft to the New York Giants. Quick thought, Mel, as the Falcons will be making a pick in a moment.
I just go to the interesting how quickly he gets on the field.
Yep.
I mean, add RPO offense. You got Wilson, Winston, and DeVito. Now you add Jackson Dart, and they need the young quarterback. No question about that. But will he be afforded the time necessary to develop out of that offense?
All right, the Falcons have traded into this spot, and the commissioner will announce their pick right now.
The Los Angeles Rams have traded the 26th pick to the Atlanta Falcons. With the 26th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Atlanta Falcons select James Pierce Jr., defensive end, Tennessee.
James Pierce Jr. goes to the Falcons and moved into the spot that had belonged to the Los Angeles Rams. Adam Schefter has more for us. Schefter.
Well, Greeny, this is an interesting trade. The Falcons get back this first-round pick to take James Pierce and a third-round pick. But in return, the Rams get a second-round pick this year and a first-round pick in 2026, along with a seventh-round pick this year. So this year, where all teams held their initial first-round draft picks coming into the draft, next year, the Cleveland Browns already have the Jaguars' first-round pick from one trade today, and the Rams now have the Falcons' first-round pick next year for this trade.
So we only had one trade in the early portion of the night. Now we've had back-to-back picks that get moved. As far as James Pierce is concerned, first-team All-SEC each of the last 2 years, Mel, racking up 17 sacks.
I'll tell you, look, I got to see this guy. I'm telling you, this dude has the most potential of any pass rusher in this draft. I believe outside of Abdul Carter, all right? He could be the next best pass rusher in this draft without a doubt. At 6'5", 245 pounds, 4.47 in the 40. He reminds me of body type-wise of Devon Kurtz when he came out of Florida. He could go speed to power as well as anybody you see. It is classic. It's textbook. He's got the speed to chase down any quarterback in the NFL. He's got the power to collapse the pocket inside out. When he wants to slant down inside on run stunts, he blows up everything. Everything. He'll track down balls one side of the field to the other. The question with James is this: consistency. Can you get it out of him all the time? Can you count on him? Can you depend on him? Is he always going to be there? Is he always going to answer the bell? Because if he does, Atlanta finally has the rusher that they've been looking for, because he has it all.
The Falcons have been in the bottom 2 in sacks 4 of the last 6 years, including 31 last season. But they've gone a long way to address that tonight, taking Jalen Walker from Georgia earlier and now James Pierce from Tennessee. But the big move made just moments ago, Jackson Dart, quarterback Ole Miss, to the New York Giants, who had taken Abdul Carter earlier in the night. So the Giants with a huge night with all the pressure in the world on their coach and general manager. And our reaction will continue in just a moment live in Green Bay on ESPN.
Lowe's helped build the 2025 NFL Draft Green Room. Visit Lowe's.com/NFL Draft now to recreate the look in your home. Lowe's, official partner of the NFL.
These are the voyages of the Patrick Starship Enterprise.
Krabby Patty, engage.
Hit it, Krabs.
Aye, Captain. Beep, boop, boop, boop.
Its mission, nautical nonsense.
Where's Officer SquarePants?
Weird dream.
Perhaps it was your imagination.
Whether you like SpongeBob, Star Trek, or both, find your mountain of entertainment on Paramount+.
Did they just hop from a baseball game to a show on Max without leaving DirecTV?
It's like all their apps and channels are connected.
Oh, it's all connected. Shows, movies, sports, cooking shows.
Is she talking to us?
Tell me, how does DirecTV put all your favorite stuff on one home screen? Uncanny content suggestions based on your watch history? Or mind control?
Were you recently electrocuted?
A better way to watch whatever you want to watch.
Well, I, for one, am intrigued.
only getting isolated results? Big gains come from AI that works across all your data and applications. The AI built for business, IBM.
Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. The sweet scent of a honeymoon in Fiji. Moisturize with vitamin B3.
You better not be using all the Old Spice.
Ooh, can you get my bag?
Check out the new whip. Tight, tight, fully custom. How many Bud Lights can you fit in that puppy? As many Bud Lights as it takes. A lot of Bud Lights. You have to give me one of those.
Yo, I can guard pro in these.
I can guard you and route you up.
You sure about that?
Fellas looking for a quarterback?
Let's go!
You're right, Billy. These do bring out my eyes.
Every shoe for every athlete.
Dix is the GOAT.
Hidden Valley Ranch is made with real ingredients for real ranch flavor that's impossible to put into words. But that's pretty close. Indescribably delicious Hidden Valley Ranch.
Your nerves might be shot. Your hopes might be hiding in the crease. And you might be seeing double, or you might be feeling the heat. And you might be cursing droughts. And you might be witnessing history. And you might be thinking, oh my God, this is it. Whatever it is, you're in it. And with the Stanley Cup playoffs, that's the only thing that matters. The Stanley Cup playoffs, Monday on ESPN.
Welcome back to Green Bay and our coverage of the 2025 NFL Draft, which is presented by Courtyard by Marriott, a member of Marriott Bonvoy. You see, the Packer fans are celebrating. They're having fun tonight as their team did something very uncharacteristic, taking a wide receiver in the first round. It's been an action-packed last half hour or so here. Had a couple of trades. Giants traded up and took a quarterback in Jackson Dart. Falcons traded up and took a pass rusher in James Pierce. Mel Kiper's Baltimore Ravens are on the clock here. And in fact, their pick is in very quickly before the commissioner makes it. Mel, what are their needs?
Safety, and they got both safeties sitting there for him. Malachi Starks from Georgia and Nick Emanwari from South Carolina. Starks didn't have the great year, but he was a heck of a football player throughout his career. I really like the football IQ and the talent.
The commissioner with the pick.
With the 27th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Baltimore Ravens select Malachi Starks, defensive back, Georgia.
There it is, terrific safety. Grew up in Jefferson, Georgia, about a half hour from Athens. Was a five-star. Became the Bulldogs starting free safety. Led the team in defensive snaps as a freshman on a national championship team. Finished with 6 interceptions.
They moved him around a lot, Greeny. At 6'1", 197 pounds. He ran 4.50 now. So Nick Emanwari's 4.38. Kind of pales in comparison. So Emanwari had a 43 vertical. Malachi Starks had a 33 vertical. But football IQ, Bug, and being able to tackle at all areas of the field. Open field tackler, he's outstanding. His ball skills, the interception and the range he showed against Clemson was phenomenal in that game. He had 5 career interceptions. He is just everybody. He's a good football player. He'll play that center field role for the Ravens.
Here's the thing I'll tell you, Quinn. He trained in Tampa with my buddy Yo Murphy. I got an opportunity to see him every day, see him work. You talk about football character, football instincts, showing up to work. There was video of him working out this morning before he gets drafted this afternoon. That's what you're getting in this safety in Baltimore. There's a sign in the facility that says, play like a Raven. He will embody that coming from Georgia, being coached under Kirby Smart. I don't worry about the tested numbers. His football instincts, his ability to be in center field while you have Kyle Hamilton down around the line of scrimmage, to be able to play the ball and make plays. What he lacks maybe in speed and athleticism, he makes up by being able to key and diagnose quickly. This is a true football player that has very high football character.
Yeah, he's a guy who seems like he would fit in Baltimore in some of their split safety stuff, right? Their cover 4 schemes, their cover 2 scheme, whereas there's a lot of pattern reading where you process quickly, get quick pattern matches. You're not kind of isolated one-on-one. When he got put in those kind of situations, that's where you see some of the top-end speed deficiency come in. And I don't mean deficiency, okay? He's 4'5". So I'm saying he doesn't have true man coverage skills down the field against wide receivers, making them one-on-one. But he's a solid, steady player. That's a nice fit, Mel, with Kyle Hamilton.
Real nice fit. And I see both these safeties drop down this far. And, of course, offensive guards in areas really will address the offensive guard spot. So they're in a pretty good spot to know that they've solidified that spot. Keep in mind, Ardarius Washington, who's a heck of an undrafted free agent pickup out of TCU. He is a free agent after the 2025 season.
And he'll benefit from being around a guy like Kyle Hamilton.
Yeah.
No question about it. Those are look, at the safety position where you want guys to be real cerebral and be real smart and be able to work together with one another, get everybody on the same page. He's perfect.
And one other note, they really like TJ Tampa, 4th-round steal last year out of Iowa State.
Right.
And they did some things in free agency with Awuzie, so they've done some things cornerback-wise, a little under the radar. The development of TJ Tampa, who I think is going to be a nice addition to that defense this year. Wasn't redshirted, but certainly got coming off the injury, a little banged up. They like TJ Tampa. He said a day 3 steal last year for Eric DeCosta, outstanding general manager with the Baltimore Ravens.
Now you can actually see the intensity in him as he made his way from the green room out onto the stage and actually lifted the commissioner off his feet, and he's down there on the stage now. Verizon Business brings us down to Molly, who's with Malachi. Molly.
Malachi, I can feel the energy vibrating off of you. That was quite the hug with Commissioner Goodell. How do you describe what's going through you right now?
I'm ready to go. I've been waiting too long. I'm ready to go. I'm ready.
This Ravens defense was a force down this stretch last season. What will you bring to that secondary?
I got energy. I move around. I play at a high level coming from a university like Georgia. I'm just ready to go play ball.
What do you think about playing with a guy like Kyle Hamilton?
It's my dream.
Great. Congratulations, Malachi.
Thank you.
Guys.
Everything you just said was illustrated by his behavior in every conceivable way. That was one fired up young man. As the crowd is now starting to boo the Lions. It's been a while since we've seen the other divisional teams in here. They booed the Bears quite loudly. They booed the Vikings loudly, and now they will boo the Lions loudly as well. The Lions, obviously, a terrific season last year, a terrific team, the best in the NFC, just decimated by injury on the defensive side to the point where they almost didn't have a chance by the time they got to the postseason.
Well, and when you talk about the defensive side of the football, particularly edge rusher, Aiden Hutchinson missed most of the season. They struggle to find pass rush, particularly coming from the edge. There's some guys that are still left on the board. The guy from BC, Donovan Ezaraku, Mike Green is on the board. They need to solidify the depth from a pass rush standpoint. This is a playoff team that wants to compete for a Super Bowl. You have to fill in the holes, the gaps that you have. You talk about them being decimated on defense. They have to accumulate the depth, especially at the edge position.
Yeah, they got to get somebody who can come off the edge. I mean, they need to start establishing some depth by getting some more players. I mean, Aiden needs some help.
Yeah.
And he needs a guy. He needs some juice off the edge. I mean, Donovan Ezaraku is still there. Mike Green from Marshall is still there. You would expect it to be a defensive pick simply because of the fact that they had so many injuries.
Yeah.
And it really just derailed everything they were trying to get done last year. We'll see what happens here.
They were one of 2 teams that didn't have multiple players with 5 sacks last season. Aiden Hutchinson led the team in sacks, and he only played in 5 games last year. So, Mel, what direction do we look at as the commissioner makes his way to the stage?
I'm going to echo what Lou was saying. I think Carson Schwesinger's another name that we're going to be hearing at some point in time. You're talking about they have Jack Campbell, but Carson Schwesinger from UCLA, all this kid does is make impactful plays, and he is a tackling machine.
Here's the commish with the selection.
With the 28th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions select Tyleek Williams, defensive tackle, Ohio State.
All right, so not an edge, a dominant run defender at 334 pounds who also compressed the pocket for the national champs at 11 and a half sacks in his college career.
Here's the first thing you notice, Greeny. He's built like a nose tackle at 6'2", 334 pounds, but he has athleticism like a 3 technique. I got an opportunity to train him and take him on the field in Tampa. He's got elite movement for a guy that's 330 pounds. The ability to change direction. You talk about him playing the run. He plays the run fiercely at Ohio State. His ability to flip his hips and get upfield. He's got the versatility to play the 3 technique position. He can play the 1 or the 3. I think if he slims down a little bit, he could be the quintessential 3 technique.
No doubt. I mean, I'm sitting here looking at my notes. He primarily aligned as the 3 tech, and I said the second thing I put was excellent flex, body control, and balance and center of gravity, fluidness of movement for someone with that body that's so thick. and so sturdy, able to hold double teams, doesn't get turned, doesn't get his shoulders turned. Hey, they're probably figuring this. We don't like somebody on the outside on the edge. What's the quickest way to get to the quarterback? We're just going to collapse that pocket inside out.
There are 4 picks remaining in tonight's first round. As of now, they belong to Washington, then Buffalo, then Kansas City, then Philadelphia. Will Shedeur Sanders hear his name called tonight? According to our draft day predictor, there was only a 3% chance he'd be available by the time we got here. He is Mel's 5th rated player on the board. He's still available at 29. We'll be right back.
Ego, the #1 rated brand in cordless outdoor power, pushes the boundaries of innovation to power the unexpected, all on one battery platform. Experience the industry's most powerful cordless pressure washer with advanced digital controls. A string trimmer so smart, it loads the line with the push of a button. And our most powerful blower that exceeds the power of gas. Ego takes innovation to the next level. One battery powers 90+ tools. Ego, power beyond belief. Find an Ego retailer near you.
What's better than a limited time deal? An unlimited time deal. That's why the $5 biggie bag with a junior bacon cheeseburger is available all the time. Because the best time for fresh, never frozen beef and Applewood smoked bacon is all the time. Duh. For the best deal of all time, gotta be Wendy's.
AT&T has a new guarantee because not everything in life is guaranteed. Don't sweat it. Get our best deals on smartphones like iPhone 16 Pro on us with your choice of our best plans. That's the AT&T guarantee. And right now, trade in your iPhone any year, any condition, and get up to $1,000 towards your new iPhone.
Oh, great presentation, Tim. Could you email me the part about Geico, making it easy to switch and save hundreds?
Oh, yeah, sure.
You don't know my name, dear?
Of course I know your name. I just get you mixed up with the other guy. What's his name? What's your name?
Switch and save. Get more with Geico.
Could you just tell me? I want this to be over.
With new McValue at McDonald's, you'll get more than you expect. Like buy a double cheeseburger and add chicken McNuggets for $1. Because 6 finals calls for a 6-piece chicken McNuggets. Get more than you expect with new McValue.
2025 NFL schedule will be released soon.
We are ready for the new era here.
It is adrenaline, excitement, the stage electric.
One of many revenge games. Quarterbacks, they define this rivalry. They've only gotten better. Unbelievable. The whole world wants a Super Bowl rematch for the ages. Welcome back.
Yeah, the NBA playoffs are here, and it's about to be ridiculous, unbelievable, unfair, downright nasty, straight up, can't miss, don't blink, grab your popcorn and strap in cinema. This isn't about who's next. This is about who's now. This time is different. The NBA playoffs, Friday on ESPN.
The 2025 NFL Draft is presented by Courtyard by Marriott, the official hotel of the NFL.
We're back in Green Bay. The Washington Commanders are making the next selection at number 29 after a magnificent season led by their young quarterback, Jaden Daniels, all the way to the NFC Championship game. And then Mel making all of these additions that we see here during the offseason, most notably Deebo Samuel and Laramie Tunsil. So what direction do they look here?
Well, they've got an edge rusher, a big corner, and they want a speedy running back at some point. Obviously, the offensive line keep helping out Jaden Daniels. They did that with Laramie Tunsil coming in. So I think when you look at this, it's all about Jaden, but I'd say a big corner. Will Johnson still on the board with his length and athleticism. And Mike Green, the pass rusher out of Marshall, is a guy we know from a talent standpoint and the production that he had at Marshall this year. You get off the edge and get after the quarterback.
Here's the thing I would say, Green. Think about the theme of the night. If you have a young quarterback, you help the young quarterback, either with the receiver or protection. I think they help the young quarterback some way.
We're going to find out in a moment. Here comes the commissioner again, number 29, Washington. The pick is in, and here comes Roger Goodell with the selection.
With the 29th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Washington Commanders select Josh Connerly, Jr., tackle, Oregon.
Interesting pick. So they take the tackle after signing or trading for the tackle. Josh Connerly has been on the radar a long time. He won the Anthony Munoz Award as the best lineman in the country in high school. Played in all 13 games as a freshman at Oregon. Started all 14 as a sophomore. And then Mel made first-team All-America last year as the Ducks went undefeated through the regular season.
Steadily improving player, Greeny, a kid who was outstanding throughout the course of the year. We talked about what he was able to do in that game against Abdul Carter. He wasn't up against Carter all that often, but he did when he had the one-on-ones to show what he could do. The Mike Green was one play at the Senior Bowl. So throw that out. He has the athletic ability to be a guard or a left tackle, a developing standout at that left tackle spot. I was impressed. Run blocking, that showed the ability to drive defender off the ball, torque, and then seal, block in space. The ability to pull and get to the second level, I thought, was excellent for Josh Connerly. We saw pass protection as well. Talking about against Abdul Carter, didn't allow a sack there. The athletic ability, consistently take away the edge, then mirror that defensive end, use that punch more to keep defenders from getting into his pads. He can lose out a little of the power. We saw that during the course of the season, but his hand placement, that could be improved. So an offensive line coach is getting an unfinished, needs a little more polish, refinement. But the talent level, the skill set of Josh Connerly, you give him one more year at Oregon, he's probably a top 5, top 10 pick.
You see those feet right there on that ET when the tackle slanted down inside. He took that away and then got back out on the tackle looping around. He's got nice feet, heavy hands, knock you off the ball. Got beat a couple times on inside up and unders and spin moves inside. But look, if you nailed it, Book. What are you going to do? You're going to make sure Jaden Daniels is straight. Make sure that he got some people who can knock guys off the ball. That's a nice pick for them.
And you got Larry Thompson. You traded for him at left tackle. Sam Coffey's at right guard. Brandon Coleman at right tackle. You got to figure he's either going to play the right tackle or go inside at guard. And so now Jaden Daniels, who had a sensational rookie year, feels more protected. You got Deebo Samuel. You got the offensive line. Yeah. You start to see what they're trying to build in Washington around this young quarterback. Weapons or protection. Either way, the young quarterback needs to be supported.
I think the next piece that they need to get an explosive back in the backfield, true running back. I know they got Deebo Samuel, and he's a jack of all trades, but they've got some nice things going on, and here we now sit with the Buffalo Bills.
The Bills picking at 30. This is a team that has done as much winning as any team ever without taking it all the way. Their 78 wins, including playoffs, going back to 2019, is the most in a 6-season span without making a Super Bowl appearance of any team in the league. So it's a bit of damning with faint praise. They've been very, very good. They need something to put them over the top. What is it, Mel?
They got to cover. They got to cover guys on the back end. You got Will Johnson. As long as the medical is good, Will Johnson's a top 10 to 15 player. No doubt about that. For Buffalo to see Will Johnson there at this point has to, I think, surprise a lot of people. Maxwell Hairston ran great, had a really good junior camp, 2024 campaign. So he got hurt this year with his shoulder, had 5 picks 2 years ago. And I know, Lou, you love Trey Amos.
Absolutely. Trey Amos, Azaria Thomas from Florida State. Both of these guys, they're those long, tough, man-to-man cover guys, great jump ball skills, win at the catch point down in the red zone. They're the kind of guys that Sean McDermott would like to deal with.
Azaria Thomas would have been in the first round had that not been for the 40 at the combine.
That's right. I'll tell you what, and he's a Jalen Ramsey-looking type of guy. Long, tough, can play inside at the star, at the nickel position. And Trey Amos, I'll tell you this, coaches down in Ole Miss said, he reminds us in many ways of what Patrick Surtain looked like when he came out of Alabama. He has that same kind of mentality, that same kind of toughness at the catch point, ball skills, all of it. But there's some good players still on the board.
If you talk about fit, though, all those guys, I get it, but from a fit standpoint, if the medical checks out, Will Johnson fits better in that Sean McDermott defense, where they want to have vision on the ball.
So you're talking about a too-high type of scheme, cover 4, cover 2 type of
From a zone standpoint, ball still, the key to diagnose, get the ball, and get the big sixes like he did at Michigan. Right. I think he fits better maybe than a Trey Amos or an Azaria Thomas.
Well, I would say Trey fits only because down at Ole Miss, they played a cover 4 type of scheme. It was Nick's scheme, basically, that they played down there. So, they both make sense.
A team that it was mentioned has been so good and yet come up just short in such painful fashion multiple times in the last few years. Last year was supposed to be their dip year. It was the year they lost so many of their players on defense, reset their salary cap, still found themselves with an opportunity in the AFC Championship game against Mahomes in Kansas City and just couldn't quite get it done at the finish. So let's see which direction they go. Everyone here is expecting defense to help Josh Allen and that Bills offense take a step towards San Francisco or Santa Clara next year.
It's just a different way to close the gap, Green. When you talk about the gap between Mahomes and Josh Allen, it's minuscule. So how do you close? You got to be able to close the defensive side of the ball where they can turn the football over and give Josh Allen one more possession, give him one more crack at the football.
And we can see the commissioner making his way to the podium with a very special visitor to announce the pick.
The NFL is stepping up to have an even greater impact as a wish maker for Make-A-Wish. For the second time tonight, we have the opportunity to grant a wish for a deserving young man to announce the first pick for his favorite team. Tommy. Tommy is a 16-year-old living with a neuromuscular disorder, is a huge Buffalo Bills fan, and he's here with me to make the announcement for his beloved Bills. Go ahead, Tommy.
Let's go, Buffalo! With the 30th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Buffalo Bills select Maxwell Harrison. Let's go!
Let's go indeed. Cornerback out of Kentucky who ran the fastest 40 at the combine. So it starts there. He's here. He's a huge personality. 2-year starter, 6 interceptions. 3 of them came back for touchdowns.
When he was healthy in 2023, he was outstanding. 5 interceptions, led the SEC, set a school record with 2 interception returns for touchdown in 1 game against Vanderbilt. Then this year he started 7 games, but he missed 5 games with a shoulder injury. Had 4 pass breakups, only had the 1 interception. This is a kid that you talk about speed and recovery ability. Remember Nate Wiggins last year going to the Baltimore Ravens out of Clemson? This kid can fly. His 40 time was outstanding, blazing recovery speed, does well at the catch point, like his ability to plant and drive, the frame, needs to play a little better eye discipline as well, but that frame holding up, being able to support the run and be able to hold up physically in the NFL, but the recovery ability, the coverage skills of Maxwell Harrison, when he was healthy 2 years ago, that was excellent, Lou.
Yeah, I mean, 39 vertical, 10-9 broad, 4.25, you're talking about in the 40. Like he has the speed and athleticism to make up for some of the deficiencies that he has as far as route recognition and playing it true and playing it clean with consistency. That's what happens. That's why you slip down here to 30 when you have the kind of athletic ability he has. But look, Sean McDermott will get him right. They need to really get some cover guys, some guys who can make some plays on the ball in the secondary. And this is the kind of kid with the kind of traits that you look for down here late in the first round.
He's the first defensive back in school history to go in round 1, and we talk about how badly the Bills need him. They allowed opposing quarterbacks to complete 41% of their passes, thrown 20 yards downfield or more last year. That was 24th in the NFL. Now let's take a look at Max Hairston.
Yeah, like I said, Greg, you talk about the ability to recover and to see the size. Only about 180, 183 pounds. That's the concern moving forward with that frame. But you watch him here, Lou, and Kentucky. Drew Phillips came out of his defense last year, did a really good job as a rookie with the New York Giants. Anticipate, first on the ball, and come up with the interception. He had 5 interceptions 2 years ago. He's had 2 in that 1 game for touchdown against Vanderbilt. So, again, here's a kid with the talent. Certainly the Buffalo Bills, they don't need 1. They need 2, maybe 3 cover men to help that secondary.
And I just love how they play. If you notice the video, he's playing off coverage with vision on the quarterback. We talked about how Buffalo wants to play with the safeties high and the cornerbacks off, keeping the ball in front of him with the cornerbacks having vision on the quarterback. He played that to the best of his ability at Kentucky and was absolutely outstanding. So from a scheme standpoint, from a fit standpoint, and then you add the element of how fast he is, it's a welcome addition in Buffalo.
Yeah, that's how he needs to play it right there. He needs to play off, hips open, play everything top down, play with good vision. You saw that number 7 who he ran down from Texas. That's Isaiah Bond now. And he ran him down and made that play on that big post where he was beat initially, but he's able to run it down because he's got sub 4.3 speed. They just got to refine his technique, refine his route recognition. And that's what you're looking for here late in the first round.
All right, see him making his way over to our Molly McGrath. Verizon Business brings us down to the stage where Molly has Max Hairston. Molly?
Max, you told me that you were going to practice that handshake with Roger Goodell in the mirror. How do you think you did?
I think I did good. He almost lifted me up on the hug, but I think I did good. I've been waiting all night for that one.
I absolutely love your energy. You are known as a high character leader at Kentucky. What is Buffalo getting in you?
Man, Buffalo, they're getting the ultimate competitor, the ultimate teammate, and they're getting somebody that's going to give Josh Allen the ball back. Let's get the word!
All right, congratulations. Before we go, let's see the inside of that jacket.
Yeah.
And so Max Hairston is headed to Buffalo. I'll tell you what, the NFL draft makes for a strange bedfellows. Kansas City and Philadelphia met in the Super Bowl just a few months ago. Now they've swapped picks here. The Eagles have moved up to 31, trading up with Kansas City. We'll get the details on the trade in just a moment. The Super Bowl champs are on the clock, and we're getting ready to finish up round 1 from Green Bay. We're back in a moment on ESPN.
That is.
Trains. Trains that sense what isn't on the schedule. Trains that use the power of Dell AI and Intel to see hundreds of miles of tracks, clearing the way so you arrive exactly where you belong.
This combo meal's got combinations. Make this thing your own creation. Entree, drink, and choice of sides. Oh, and it's free to swap fries. BK, have it your way.
If you keep making that face, it's going to stay like that.
I'm trying to get my own car insurance.
USAA. Grandpa was in the military. He shared membership with your mom so she could share with you. Easy.
USAA. Check if you're eligible today.
Here you go, buddy. Thank you.
You may kiss the bride.
Love you, Dad.
Oh my God.
Is our baby crying?
You might have heard I'm going through a little upgrade with my tats. So when Verizon announced that everyone gets a free phone on any plan, pain-free, count me in. Try and beat it. I'll give you a sec.
Lowe's knows it's easier to make the right calls when you have the right team. Dak going for it, and he fumbles. Brilliant recovery with the Lowe's app. He always delivers. And so does the Lowe's app. In-store, online, our Lowe's team has you covered.
I won't let you down. I will not give you up.
Libre the original eau de parfum and l'ONU, the new alcohol-free citrus roll fragrance, Yves Saint Laurent.
At Macy's, the fragrance destination.
Being Courtyard's official fan ambassador has opened a new world for me. Now I get to hang out with NFL fans all season long. See you on game day.
Two world titles, what a night.
I lived in Italy. An away game was traveling to Germany, France. That was where I started building my passion for football. Draft night is going to be everything.
Right, back with the final two picks of round one of this year's NFL draft. A swap of the final two picks between the two teams who just met in the Super Bowl. You see Philadelphia giving up a fifth rounder this year to move up one spot. We'll see what it is they choose to do very quickly. We know, again, we've had the two quarterbacks selected tonight and seem almost impossible to imagine that we'll see another. So that will be tomorrow's storyline. As for the Eagles pick, here comes the commissioner.
The Kansas City Chiefs have traded the 31st pick to the Philadelphia Eagles. With the 31st pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Philadelphia Eagles select Jihad Campbell, linebacker, Alabama.
This young man has been on the radar a long time. He committed to Clemson at the age of 16, playing high school ball in New Jersey, ultimately flipped his choice to Alabama, where he led the Tide in tackles last year, including 11.5 for loss and 5 sacks.
21 on the big board. Gritty would have been gone a lot higher had it not been for the shoulder injury. He played great all year for Alabama. 117 tackles, team high 11.5 tackles for loss. 5 of those were sacks. Think about this football team, the way Hall of Fame GM Howie Roseman has constructed it. Half the starters, half the 22 are from the SEC. Mm-hmm. Like those proven entities, those guys who played for the big powers in the SEC. And Jihad Campbell did, as I said, guys, he would have gone much higher had it not been for the shoulder injury.
Yeah, no doubt. And when you think about what Philadelphia is doing, you think that they re-signed Zach Bond, the guy who they got off the street last year, who had an all-pro season and deserved a new contract, and now you bring in Jihad Campbell. It's an athlete, Green. It's another weapon they can add to their defense, which lost some guys up front. They lost Milton Williams. They lost those guys. And so now you add an athlete on the back end, a guy that can roam and make plays in space. It's something to go along with Zach Bond to give them a dynamic duo on the back end.
Yeah, he's a great athlete now. He can fly sideline to sideline. He can play 3-4 outside backer if you need him to, just like he's doing right here. Although this is just a 4-man front, and he's just rushing in their sub package. But he's got nice high side spit and bend and close on the quarterback. You can see why on some of the tape when he was playing off ball, right? And he's coming downhill and he's taking on linemen. You can see the shoulder issues because he didn't have that same top and be able to get off and get people off of him. But you figure this, if he's healthy and both of those, those shoulders are straight, this is a hell of an athlete. I mean, he just looks great. He's kind of hyped, too. He knows he's on a pretty good football team.
And they can wait. This is one organization, one football team can wait on John.
That's right.
Get healthy. Yep. Don't have to rush. They drafted Cooper DeJean, who they stole in the second round. Sure. Why? Because he was coming off an injury. Yeah. They waited it out, and he was an impactful all year and was a key guy in the Super Bowl, right? Yeah. So, again, Howie Roseman, I'd say Hall of Fame without question, GM. I mean, nobody does it better. And to get a Jihad Campbell, who, like I said, I had him at 21. Had not been for the injury, he would have been probably around 12 to 15. And like I said, they can wait till he's complete. It's not one shoulder, it's two.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
Wait till he's completely healthy. Shoulders are 100% before you're getting back on the field, and they can wait it out.
You mentioned Howie Roseman. That was the Eagles' NFL high 11th trade involving a first-round pick since he took over in December of 2015. And he is standing by now. And when I say he, Jihad Campbell is standing by with Molly. Verizon Business takes us down to the stage. Molly.
Jihad, the defending Super Bowl champs just traded up for you. How will you repay their belief in you?
I'm going to give them 110%, everything I got in me. The rich just got rich.
You told me that this week felt like an out-of-body experience. What is it like standing up here as the newest member of the Philadelphia Eagles?
Best team in the nation. I mean, what can I say? E-A-G-L-E-S. There we go.
Greeny.
Thank you.
He already knows.
Molly, he already knows. That's a great moment. Again, a young man who suffered those injuries thought he might have to wait until tomorrow night. And here's his name called again in a trade with Kansas City. Shefty, what can you tell us?
Well, the Eagles tried trading up earlier in the draft to go get Jihad Campbell, and the trade fell through, but they were able to persevere and trade up one spot. A lot of people might ask, why would you trade up one spot? Well, I think it's to block another team from potentially coming up, especially when it only costs you a 5th-round draft pick and you've got 20 picks in the next 2 rounds to use as ammunition. And now they get a player who, as Mel mentioned, could have gone from 12 to 15. He did have surgery on one of his shoulders. He's going to need surgery on another shoulder, potentially after this season. He's got a knee issue as well, but the talent is undeniable, Greeny.
No question about it. That's feels a little bit like a steal, and that feels a little bit like why, as you mentioned, Howie Roseman is a legend of the profession. And so you see there's Kansas City. There's their legendary coach, Andy Reid, as they will make the final pick of this first round. They're accustomed to doing that. They've won a bunch of Super Bowls in recent seasons. Mel, what does this team need?
I look at a kid, you talk about injuries, right, with Jahad Campbell. How about Josh Simmons at Ohio State? Left tackle, was playing great football until he had the knee injury October 12th against Oregon. Could have been a top 5 to 10 pick. Left tackle for Patrick Mahomes. If I'm a team like him, I can wait on Josh Simmons. If he's ready for camp, ready for the start, great. If we have to wait a couple more weeks or a month and a half, fine.
If you look at, okay, Bud, I'll finish it up. Go ahead.
Here's the thing I'll say about the Chiefs. The only time Patrick Mahomes has lost a Super Bowl is when he wasn't protected. You got to make sure the kid's protected. This has to be some form of protection for Mahomes.
But Mel, I was just going to say, this is piggyback off of Josh Simmons. When he was healthy, at the end of last year, in the first quarter of this season, he's the best tackle in the draft. There's nothing he can't do. He's just coming off of that patella tendon injury.
Here's the commissioner to announce the final pick of round 1 of this year's draft in Green Bay.
With the 32nd pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Kansas City Chiefs select Josh Simmons, tackle, Ohio State.
You saw it coming, Mel. He's from San Diego, began his career at San Diego State, started every game at right tackle in 2022, transferred to the Buckeyes, played left tackle, started every game in 23, and then this year the injury.